I was out on the mean streets trying to find presents and gifts and things like this. So that's been my day today, and got a little bit more to do tomorrow, but thankfully I don't have loads of people that I have to be buying for. I don't have loads of things that I have to do. So it means that I can get it done within a couple of days, which is good. So I am up to speed. I'm pretty much where I need to be in regards to Christmas shopping. I hope you lot are as well. Hope you're excited. It's Wednesday night? That means we've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Oh my God, man. When I was young, things were getting super serious now. Things were getting super exciting now. This is where things were hitting a whole new level when I was young. So, yeah, I'd imagine there's quite a lot of excited people out there. Hello to everyone in the chat. I hope you're well. Hello. Right, I'll tell you what we're going to do first before we jump into the chat. I just want to run down tonight's cards so that we know what we're expecting, because I've been out all day, so I genuinely don't know what we're getting this week. I haven't seen anything about this week whatsoever. I don't know a single thing. So let's run through the cards and then we can jump into the chat. So we've got match number 5 between Death Triangle and the Elite. This is a best of 7 series. If Death Triangle win tonight, they win the series. So I'm pretty confident that we're going to be seeing the Elite win. Tonight is a no DQ match, and we're going to need this thing to continue. We know that we've got potentially 2 more matches coming up. I can't see why we wouldn't get those matches. I think they know that this one is a bit obvious. So what they've done is they've made it a no DQ, so at least the match itself is going to be fun, and the match itself is going to be worthwhile watching. So I expect the Elite to win that. But Death Triangle versus the Elite, we've got that maybe as the main event. We've also got FTR taking on the Guns. So FTR versus the Guns, that could be fun in all fairness. It's always great to see FTR in action on the show. So keeping an eye out for that one. Then we've got an AEW Women's World Championship match. This is Jamie Hayter defending against Hikaru Shida. So Jamie Hayter against Hikaru Shida, defending that Women's Championship. I would be surprised if Jamie Hayter drops the belts. I mean, you never know around this time of year if there will be a title change, of course. But I would be surprised. So Jamie Hayter against Hikaru Shida. We've also got the next chapter in the Book of Hobbs. Don't know what that means. I'm guessing it's going to be a vignette where we see what's happening with Powerhouse Hobbs. Then we've got Ricky Starks in action, but they don't say who against. I would guess it's a jobber, maybe. We're going to hear from Bryan Danielson as well tonight, which will be interesting. Obviously, there's a lot going on with Blackpool Combat Club. They seem to be united, but Danielson is not really in with them. Since William Regal went, I haven't seen all 4 of them together. Claudio, Wheeler Yuta, Jon Moxley, Bryan Danielson. It'd be good to get some clarity as to where we are with Blackpool Combat Club and what the future might hold for Bryan Danielson. I actually think he'll be better off away from Blackpool Combat Club. It just wasn't really working for me. It was a nice idea. I was excited when it got started, but they just didn't really have anywhere to go. I think maybe we could have got them to like the Trios Championship. That could have been pretty fun. But either way, let's see where we are now. That'll be a fun segment. And then we've got Rick Ross mediates Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland's face-to-face meeting. So we've got that coming up tonight as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things that have been previewed for tonight's AEW. Let's click over. Bang. There we go. Days, did you see Rashford's goal and performance? Do you think Southgate made a mistake not utilizing him? He looks good. I haven't seen because I was actually out this morning. So I went to bed and I didn't get up until about an hour ago. So I actually slept through Sports Personality of the Year, and I slept through the Man United game. So I haven't seen, but I did see that he scored, and I did see that he played well, got man of the match and everything. Do I think Southgate made a mistake not playing him? I don't know. I don't think he made a mistake. I think that if you drop Southgate and then Foden plays well, you'll have a load of people saying, why did he drop Foden? So it's one of those, you're in a situation where you've got such an incredible front line that whoever plays, people will moan about who doesn't. It's like when you pick a squad, you can pick an amazing squad, and then there were still people moaning about Ivan Toney not being selected and people moaning about Tomori not being selected. If you was to select them, then there would be people moaning about why didn't he take Callum Wilson? There'd be people, because he's on great form at the moment, why didn't he take Ben White? He's so versatile. He can play it right back. He play it centre back. It is a no-win situation. It is a no-win situation. Foden played really well. Some of his best games in an England shirt. Would you really have dropped Foden for Rashford and started off with Rashford instead? I don't think you would. I mean, look, could you make an argument that maybe he could have brought on Rashford a little bit earlier than he did? Maybe, but I ain't going to get upset over 5 minutes or, 10 minutes at most. So for me, no, I don't think he made a mistake. I think that England have got a great forward line with loads of options. And I think that it's one of those, like, it's in reflection, easy to say, well, on reflection now, what we didn't work because we got knocked out. So on reflection, you would try probably Rashford a little bit earlier. But there's no guarantee that that results in a goal. And there's no guarantee that that results in England going through. So he did what he thought was right at the time. And I don't have any issue with that. James said, the Lionesses clean sweep. England Lionesses team of the year. Serena Wiegman manager of the year. And Beth Mead sports personality of the year. LFG. David said Pele is back in hospital and he will spend Christmas there. Heartbreaking, but I mean, when you get to Pele's age, I don't know that it's the biggest surprise that he's having like health issues once you get to that age. Obviously, we wish him all the best, but just gotta enjoy the great man whilst he's around. I don't know, actually, if he does any conventions or anything, or if it's still possible to meet him. He might just be living the quiet life now, but definitely thoughts with Pele. There's been a lot of talk about who the best footballer is, and for me, I cannot have Pele in that conversation. To me, it still is Pele. I would have Pele as the best player of all time, but it's very hard to get into conversations about and numbers about why, because as soon as you get into a conversation with someone about the best player ever, they will always come back with like, yeah, but Pele didn't do it in Europe and he didn't do it in like one of the major leagues, but he did it in South America, which was a big league back in like the time where he was playing. And, he won 3 World Cups, which is pretty impressive. And his records, even all these years later, are still records that people are trying to beat and are, proud of achieving. That's the benchmark that Pele has set. And you have to remember that when Pele played, the game was very different. It was a lot rougher. There was a lot less like rules in regards to like people being yellow carded and everything. It was pretty brutal. The pitches were horrific. There was not the nutrition. I mean, if you was to take Pele, put him into the modern game, who knows what he would have achieved? Who knows what he would have achieved? Certainly his scores wouldn't have gone down. He's, with the better pitches and the better understanding on nutrition and training and all of that. I mean, it's so difficult to compare people from different eras. So difficult. But yeah, I'm certainly not at the point where I'm like, yes, Messi is the greatest of all time. I know many people are, because I think people want to live in the era as the same era as the greatest player ever. I think people have got that desire. They want to say that they have seen the greatest player play. They want to say they were around at the time where the greatest player played. But I think it's so difficult to compare a Messi, a Maradona, Pele. It's so difficult. There was an answer. I think it was Mark Ogden. Mark Ogden actually gave a really great answer on ESPN. He said, rather than comparing players from different eras, just say they're the best of their generation. Like Pele was the best of his generation because he had to deal with those circumstances at that time the best, and he was. Maradona was the best of his generation. And now I think we can say Messi is the best of his generation. But even that will cause a big argument when Ronaldo fans come along. So it's a heated topic. I thought this was wrestling. It is, but we talk about anything. Chill Dude said we got in about a foot of snow and minus temperatures. The greatest footballer for me in my pump did it on rubbish pitches. Messi can't say he did that. NXT did 705. WWE shows are on the uptick, says Primo. What channel is Dynamite on in the UK? It's on Fights. It's on Fights TV here in the UK. That's one that you have to pay for, a couple of pounds pay for. And I think it's like $6.99 actually. Now I'm thinking about it. I think it did go up. Originally it was like $4.99. Now I think it's $6.99. But that's the only way to watch it live in the UK. It does get shown on ITV, but they're all repeats. Harley said, what do you think about CM Punk's post on Instagram backstage at AEW? I didn't think much of it, to be honest. I don't read into Instagram posts and social media posts. I think that they're all designed to get people talking, and they're all designed to create a buzz. And quite often that buzz is not something that's connected to a story. Social media is a very powerful tool, and it's a tool that wrestlers can use to get themselves trending. Look at Eva Marie, for example. She's put WWE superstar in her bio, and she has started trending. Now, she's done this before when she threw Lily into the trash can, and everyone was thinking that Eva, well, not everyone, but there was a good chunk of people that were coming and tagging me in things saying that they thought Eva was going to get involved in Bray's return and White Rabbit and all Alexa and all this kind of stuff, just because she put a picture out of her throwing Lily into a trash can. So I always, rightfully or wrongfully, always approach wrestlers' Twitters and social medias with definitely a cautious air. So I don't think much of it is the answer. I don't think much of it. I pay more attention to Meltzer, Sean Ross Sapp, those kind of guys. And I know that will split opinion, but if they've got some insider information, that resonates with me a lot more than some teases that a wrestler would put out. So it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't do anything for me. I'm pretty sure Eva Marie hasn't removed WWE Superstar since being released, says Primo. I don't believe she's coming back. I don't think that she is involved in WWE at all. I don't expect to see her. I don't expect her to be involved. I just think that she is getting herself trending. I think if you had the power to do that, I would do the same. You would do the same. Like if you're, dare I say, a minor celebrity, right? And it's hard to gauge where she is on that ladder, right? Is she a big celebrity? Is she a minor celebrity? I don't know, right? But in my mind, she's a minor celebrity. She's someone which I don't even know what she's doing right now. She's been famous. She was never the biggest wrestler, but she got known, and now she's out of WWE. I think she does like maybe her own gym or something. So I would say she's like currently a minor celebrity, but she does still have the ability to change a little something in her bio, tease a little something, and then get the world talking about her. Now, if you've got the ability and the power to do that, wouldn't you use that a couple of times? Maybe not all the time, because obviously it will stop working then, but a couple of times you could go to it just to get that little, just remind people that you're still alive, remind people that you're still around. And that sort of feels to me like that's what she's doing. Like she did the Lily tease and, you know, got loads of mentions, loads of talk, loads of speculation. She was the talk of the town, lovely boost to her brand, eyes on her social media. People will have seen what she's been up to. It's a lovely little free promotion for anything else that she's got going on at the time. And I sort of feel like that's exactly what she's done again here. So, yeah, I always just go with an air of distance. I always go in with an air of caution, and that's why the CM Punk thing just doesn't resonate. Eva Marie is a cosplay pro wrestler, said Primo. Day's called Eva Marie a wrestler. Lol. Eva Marie versus Jade Cargill at Revolution 2023. John said the Young Bucks are very good at changing their bios to get some buzz. Yeah, they've made it a real feature, haven't they? They've got they've made a real thing out of changing their bios. They even put tweets out saying new bio, and then people will go to their account just to read their bio. It is kind of clever in a way, because it does drive traffic to their profile rather than people just seeing individual tweets. So, these are all little tricks, if you will, of social media, just to get that engagement, get people talking about you, all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. It all feels like a dog-eat-dog world on Twitter and Instagram and all of that. And just sort of feels like there's a lot of competition for views and clicks and likes and retweets and all that stuff. That's what makes the world go round in 2022, 2023. Outside of Jamie Hayter, is there anything in AEW's women's division to really get your teeth into, said Primo. I think Britt Baker. I mean, I know that's going to still be connected to Jamie, but she is a different person. And I think we could get a really great Jamie-Britt feud. I think that's the one a lot of people, if not everyone, is waiting for. I think that Britt has shown at times that she can single-handedly carry that women's division, but then, no disrespect, I don't think that's difficult. I really don't rate Anna Jay. I really don't rate Ty Conti. I really don't rate, I would say, the vast majority of women in that division. I just don't think they are good enough. I don't think that they have strong characters. I don't think they're confident enough on the mic. I don't think their match quality is strong enough. I do feel sorry for them a little bit. Anna Jay in particular, I feel like she's young, she's learning. I feel like if she'd been in NXT, she would have been used a bit like, say, JC Jane, maybe, something along those lines. Like, she could have been put in a tag team. She could have, spent a bit of time just, honing her craft. Whereas here she is on their main show. Do you know what I mean? And she doesn't get used in matches all that often. She tends to be in the background of the Dark Order a lot, or was. And now she's in the Jericho Appreciation Society. And she just, when she does have a match, she's just, it's all so fake. It's like, right now, let's do this. Now I'm doing that. Go against the ropes. Women that hit the ropes so soft as well. There's so many women that are like, Candice does it as well. Just really don't. When you I want to see two women going at it. I want to see two women wrestling and battling and competing and trying to win a contest, an actual contest. Who is the best woman? That's what I want to see. That's what you get from Asuka. That's what you get from Jamie Hayter, right? You get women that are competing. I don't know if it's the Japanese style that's just that little bit more involved and they really go for it, and they've got a proud history of women's wrestling that they're trying to live up to. You think about your Manami Toyotas, your Bull Nakanos, your Aja Kongs. You think about some of the great females that have come out of Japan, and then you think about Stardom and Sendai Girls. There's so many different, All Japan as well. There's so many great women's promotions over there. There's been so many great women that have come out of Japan that I feel like there's this real high bar that women are constantly, and Stardom in particular. I mean, what a promotion. That thing just churns out great female wrestlers. Whenever you look at a list of the best female wrestlers in the world, Stardom tend to have several places on that list. But I do find that with AEW, you do get some women that they just don't go for it. It's like they're scared of getting hurt. And it's like everything they're doing is super safe and super choreographed. And now I'm going against the ropes. Now I'm coming forward right now. Up into this. 1, 2, 3. Kick out. Okay. Standing up. And I feel like I can hear their thoughts as they're doing the match. And it's not just AEW. There's definitely women in NXT as well that are the same, where, it's like, now do that, and then I do this, then go back against the ropes, come in, yeah, there, clothesline, done that. What was the next thing we do? Go over to the corner, right, pick her up, hair, grab her by the hair, right, slingshot into the corner, right, take a step back, charge over, collide. And it's like, it doesn't have that natural flow of a fight. I don't feel like it's grabbing hair, striking, right, against the ropes, bang. Like, it just doesn't have that extra snap to it. It doesn't have that extra ferociousness. It just doesn't have that X factor to it. It's all so slow and plodding. And this isn't a knock of women's wrestling at all. I'm just saying that we're talking about the women's division in particular. There are guys that can be in that boat as well. But there feels like there's more women, if I'm being completely honest. And I do put like a fair few of the AEW women into that bracket. But I do feel sorry for them because, as I said, they don't have anywhere to necessarily train. I mean, I know there's the Nightmare Factory, but I don't even know if that's affiliated still. I know they can do stuff on Dark and Elevation, but I don't know if that's proving to be the best ground for like training. It seems to be where they have matches, and I'm sure they get feedback. But that's a very different setup to NXT. NXT have like performance focused classes. They have promo classes. They watch classic matches. They do certain drills. They've got trainers. They do training like 5 days a week, house shows. They go on the road as a unit. They work with the same opponents to like iron out things they're doing wrong. The thing with Dark and Elevation is that you just face someone once a week. I'm sure there is feedback, but it's not the same level as NXT, and that's, I think, a real problem for AEW. I think that's a real problem. They need a way of developing talent, really. The Indies, what with lockdown was lockdown, so there was nothing coming out of the Indies. Now the Indies have started back up, but it doesn't seem to be a rich and vibrant scene anymore. So it's not like the Indies are producing loads of great people anymore. Because I think the Indies, what with the cost of living and all of that, fuel crisis, prices, and the climate, the economic climate, the way it is, just don't seem to be as vibrant. I just don't see as many shows being put on. I don't see the talent coming through. It's out there. I've no doubt that it's out there, and I'm sure there are still great indie shows. I mean, me and Triple T talk a lot about Beyond Wrestling. That's one that he is a big fan of in the Boston area. I know that James had about 70 odd shows that he needed to catch up with. Obviously, Matt Cardona is on the Indies. Does obviously work with Impact and NWA as well, but he is with like GCW and just lots of different brands that he works with. So I know there's an indie scene still out there. I'm not stupid, but it just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't feel as vibrant. It doesn't feel like there's loads of names being spoken about on an indie scene. So it's a very interesting state of wrestling at the moment. We'll have to see kind of where it goes, where it grows. But hopefully 2023, of course, we see it all kind of starting to really emerge back again. I feel like what 2022 was green shoots. 2022 was like green shoots. And I think that hopefully 2023, we start to see things flowering. Because you've got to remember that basically 2020 and 2021, that was 2 years of no sun, no rain. It was barren. 2 years, very barren for wrestling. I don't think 2020, I think, is awful. 2021 maybe a little better. I think 2022 drastically better. But hopefully 2023 is when we really bear some fruit and we really start to see something flowering here. Because I think that we have still been feeling the effects of lockdown and COVID and pandemic and everything, as, you know, companies have started back up and wrestlers have started taking bookings and shows have found their feet. And obviously we had a big change in WWE, which is, you know, you can't even begin to explain how big of a change that was, with Vince going, Triple H taking over, NXT 2.0 becoming NXT, completely different vision now. Obviously the presentation feels very much similar, but NXT, the way they're recruiting, what they're looking for is completely different now since Vince went. So, yeah, let's see what 2023 brings. Seeb said, do you think if New Japan had never created a women's IWGP and Volva more on the shows at Wrestle Kingdom, Sasha would never have signed? Or do you think she would always have gone to Japan? I think she would likely have always gone. The only thing is, I don't know if the money would have been there. I think that she loves Japan. I've seen interviews where she loves Asia. She loves Japan. She is just so into that culture. When she had her last break, her last chunk of time off, she went over and trained with Miko Satomura at Sendai Girls, and she loved it. I mean, I've seen interviews where she spoke about how she learned so much and she loved her time there, and she loves Japanese culture anyway. So just being there is, I think, refreshing for her. It's a way to recharge. She kind of gets away from America and she gets away from her problems in America, goes to a whole different land, whole different side of the world, and she very much loves being over there. So with that information, I have to think that she would always look to go to Japan as and when she could. Not for the money so much, but more because she loves going and she loves being there. I think she's got a deep appreciation for female wrestling from Japan. I think if there was an opportunity to work with Miko and do something with Sendai, I think she would be open to it. Yeah, the money still needs to be decent. You know, she ain't going to go over for like $10. Like, there still needs to be a nice number on the table. But I don't know that that would be the be-all and end-all for her in regards to that, because I think that the experience is very valuable to her. So if Stardom wanted to bring her in and do something with her, I have to think New Japan would have been interested in putting... I mean, Stardom have been on New Japan shows anyway. So we've seen Stardom women being used on New Japan shows. I feel like they were used at this year's Wrestle Kingdom. So I think if Stardom had brought her over, I think New Japan would have used her on their show, because you'd want to get the most out of Sasha. And obviously the company that owns Stardom, they are, I believe, the same company that own New Japan. So there's that connection. So if they brought Sasha over for Stardom, I'm sure they would have used her for New Japan. There wouldn't need to be an IWGP women's title involved. I think they would have just found a way of like maximizing her, and maybe, you know, that company would have put up the money anyway, and would have thought, well, this isn't just a boost for Stardom, but it's a massive boost for New Japan. Just pay her the money. Do you know what I mean? Just give her the money. So I don't think there needs to be or needed to be an IWGP Women's Championship for Sasha to go over. I think that she would have gone over anyway. I think she would have appreciated the experience, and I think that they could have got a boost to Stardom and New Japan just by putting a Stardom match on Wrestle Kingdom and having Sasha compete in a Stardom match. What's your honest and brutal opinion on overusing finishing moves, said Thomas. Any interesting items that you've bought for AEW or WWE shop? Do you know what? There isn't, unfortunately. There's nothing that I've bought from AEW or WWE shop. There's nothing that I've necessarily gone on to look for. If I was to buy something, I would be tempted by the FTR jackets. I really like those. I do like the FTR. I like FTR and I like those jackets. I've always been a fan of them. And I saw that they were selling those. Even if I didn't get the jacket, maybe like an FTR shirt, that might be cool. So that would be something I'd probably have an eye on in regards to AEW. In regards to WWE, a little bit trickier, to be honest. I really can't think of anything that I'd be after. I'd have to have a look, see what the latest like t-shirt designs were. The Uncle Howdy mask is kind of cool. I like that. I do have a Fiend mask. I never wear it, but I do have a Fiend mask. But just having the Uncle Howdy mask, that's just it looks cool. It comes in a great bag. It'll look great on the shelf, kind of a thing. But it's not something that I feel that I need, mainly because I'm not really into dressing up, to be honest. I've never been into that side of things. I've never been into the cosplay stuff. If ever I've done it for a video, I've always done it because I felt the video needed it. Not that I needed it, I think I missed out on Halloween as a kid. I mean, Halloween just wasn't that big when I was young. Not round by me, anyway. I'm sure it was bigger in the cities and whatever, but in the town I lived, I think we had one trick-or-treater a year, if that. It was just not really that big at all. You could go to the shops and buy stuff. We've had this conversation before. But you could go to the shops and the shops would have some stuff in and you could get pumpkins. And I was fully aware of it. It's not like I didn't even know what it was. I was aware of it. And I think we probably did carve a pumpkin one year just for something to do. But we weren't putting decorations up around the house. No one in my street was doing that. And as I said, I think we probably got one trick-or-treater and that was about it. So I never had that. I never did that dressing up thing as a kid. It's just not. And I never went to comic conventions when I was young either. So the cosplaying stuff wasn't a thing. If ever I went to watch wrestling as a youngster, I never dressed up as a wrestler. Never been into Marvel or DC as a kid. Never read those comics. I've seen the Superman movies when I was young, and I saw the Batman movies, but I never felt the urge to run around dress up as Batman or Superman or anything like that. So that just has never been a thing. That's never been a feature. It's never been something that I've done. But I think that there's still part of me that likes to own those things. So an Uncle Howdy mask, I think, would be fun to own. Even if I'd never wear it. And honestly, I'd have to go on. I'm sure there's some good stuff that's on there. There's some nice looking Funkos that are coming out, for example. There might be some good Funkos that are on there. I'm sure there's some great shirts and things like that. But actually, this Christmas, I've been asked a few times, what do I want? And my answer is, I don't want anything. I'm not after anything. It's a lovely situation to be in, actually. To actually you find yourself at Christmas where there is genuinely nothing that you want. That's a nice situation to be in. It sounds rubbish, doesn't it? It sounds rubbish. Not in a few days' time, it'll be Christmas. I will get some gifts, but there is literally nothing that I'm after. But it's quite freeing, actually. It's quite nice. Part of me is really tempted, and I'll never get there. But I'm really tempted to kind of go down the minimalistic road. Where there's I could probably buy the book, actually. I'm sure there's probably a book or something. How to live your life with just 100 objects. If you can have just 100 things in your life and that is it. And it includes all your clothes, it includes all your DVDs, your computer, anything and everything, lamp, everything, microwave. You make a list of 100 things that you absolutely need, and that is it. And you don't need any more than that. And if you buy something, then you have to get rid of something. And I think that's such an interesting way to live life. That really appeals because I'm someone that collects. I'm a collector. When I was young, I had a few collections of different things cards and whatever, as you do. Comics. I had some Beano comics and whatever, and you collect a few things. And wrestling figures. I had Hasbro wrestling figures. And then as I got older, I managed to stay away from Jakks figures. But I did still get some. I couldn't fight it all the time, but I did a pretty good job of staying away from Jakks WWE figures. I was just never actually massively impressed with them. They never quite looked like the wrestler to me in the early days. They did get better, but I was able to fight that one. And I just had loads of CDs, loads of DVDs. I mean, literally next to me, I've got hundreds of CDs and DVDs on a wall just next to me. Just absolutely loads and loads and loads. I would turn the camera to show you, but then I won't be able to get it back in the right position. So you just have to believe me. There are loads of CDs and DVDs here. In fact, I feel like I should show you because people will doubt me. Hogan. It just goes on and on and on. Hang on. This is where I'm going to struggle to get it back now. Actually, is that all right? Yeah, actually, that's not bad. That's all right. It's a bit skew with. Hang on. There we go. That's all right. Yeah, so I've just got goes all like down with CDs and DVDs. So I'm someone that collects. I'm someone that really likes to collect things. Boom. So yeah, I have to like fight that urge. To be honest, I have to fight the urge, and obviously, the Mattel figures just went out of control as well. So yeah, I have to be very careful when it comes to like starting collections. This is why I'm really interested in the idea of just like 100 things and that's it. 100 things. You just have the best of your figures. You just have the DVDs and CDs you absolutely cannot live without. You just have, a microwave, a kettle, a lamp. You just have a phone charger, like 100 things. Boom, that is it. And then that's it. And then you don't need to worry about anything else. You don't need to think about anything else. You don't need to want anything else. Well, you could want it, but you can't have it. Tough. And if you want it, you got to lose something else. There are people that live their lives that way. Sounds a bit dull, doesn't it, I suppose? But I suppose, in a way, the money you save by not buying things, you then spend on going out with friends, going on holiday, upgrading your car, getting a better lamp. You might have a lovely lamp, get a better lamp. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm kind of into that life now. James said, I'm now down to 15 shows. Very good. I think, look, you're almost down to one a day. You've got, 9 days left, is there, in the year? 15 shows? You're going to storm that, mate. Storm that. Huge collection. How many of those CDs and DVDs are wrestling related, says Thomas? There's a good chunk, actually. I mean, that was a big part of it, was that here in the UK, we had tagged classics. I don't think you had them in America. But what they did, this was so annoying as well, because it was about 10 years before the network came along. And throughout those 10 years, they would release DVDs quite regular. And I pretty much bought them all, right? That's a lot of money that I invested. So it's basically WrestleMania 1 and WrestleMania 2, double DVD set, both in the same DVD box. So WrestleMania 1 on one disc, WrestleMania 2 on the other. Boom. You can have that $12.99, something like this, yeah? So you get both WrestleManias. You got to remember, the network was not around. So you could get them maybe on old VHS, right? And I did have the old WrestleManias on VHS. And you could certainly see clips on the internet. But like to actually be able to go home and watch the whole of WrestleMania 1 and the whole of WrestleMania 2, this was by far the best definition version of doing it at the time. And it was also the best way of doing it, what with having the 2 full shows. And it was at a good price. In fact, now I'm thinking about it, I think they were probably more like $17.99, maybe $19.99. But they released so many of those. They did like all the WrestleManias, SummerSlams, Rumbles. They even did like best of 93 and best of 94. And then they were doing things like the best Undertaker matches and the best Hogan matches or whatever it might be, like old Coliseum videos as well. Loads of those. So many. I mean, there must have been, I don't know, I couldn't even put a number on it. I mean, I feel like 80, 90, something along those lines of these, 100 maybe, I don't know, of these tag classics. I've got so many of those. I feel like I might be missing one or two, if that. So, yeah, if ever the network goes down, I'm all right, to be honest. I don't have anything actually since like 2015. So I haven't had anything from the last 7 years because why would I need to? It's all on the network. If the network ever went away, that would be heartbreaking. That would actually be heartbreaking. Like, the one thing that I know I absolutely take for granted is the WWE network. I definitely take it for granted because I remember life before it and it sucked. It really sucked. Like, the fact that you can go on and watch old Raws is just honestly unfathomable. It's unfathomable. The fact you can go and watch old SmackDowns is unfathomable. The fact that you can watch Tuesday Night Titans or Classic Superstars or WCW Nitro and any episode you want is just, we are so spoiled. We are so spoiled. This is why I'm saying, like, that 100 thing, I reckon it's possible, because you don't need, if you've got the network, well, that's wrestling sorted. really. I understand you might want to collect figures and you might want to collect things. I totally get that. But as long as you've got the network, I think you've got the most important thing. People often ask, like, what 10 things do you recommend for Christmas for a, like, wrestling fan? And I think the number one thing you have to put on there is the WWE network. Like, that is, it might be obvious, and I'm sure people have already got it. But if there's a wrestling fan that didn't have the network, it is undeniably the best thing you could get them. If there was a kid that was really into wrestling, he loved watching it, and he didn't have the network, there is not a gift that would be better than a voucher for the WWE network. Like, it is the best gift by far, easily. Nothing comes close. So, yeah, that would definitely have to be in consideration. But to be honest, like, the other stuff, like, I just haven't looked. I haven't looked to see what else is on there, to be honest. I haven't looked to see what the new items are or what's special for this Christmas. Sometimes they do send through, and they have sent through, like, a package in the past, because I talk about wanting, like, 100 things and everything, but I know I'll never get there because that's just not who I am as a person. I am someone that collects and buys and, like, do you know what I mean? I've got figures over here. I've got DVDs over there. I've got comic books that I had when I was a kid. You know, I've just got, like, things around. I mean, I've got, like, you know, I've got, like, 2 laptops from, like, you know, all the time I've been doing YouTube. I've got, like, a PC. I've got a broken PC upstairs. I've got a microphone here, which is on its last legs. And then I've got this new microphone. I've got, like, I've just got stuff all around me all the time. I'm just a person that has stuff. And it's like, I would love to live the life of not having clutter. I'd love to live that life. Wrestle with Andy said, the UK and USA Dennis the Menace characters were made within a few weeks of each other, and both creators knew nothing about one another. I didn't even know that there was a US Dennis the Menace. Is that the film? Do you know what? Now you're saying that, I have always wondered why there was a film, but it had nothing to do with the Beano. That's interesting, that is. That's interesting. I've never actually given that any consideration. I've always just thought, I don't know what I've thought, actually. I don't know what I've thought. I think I must have thought that maybe they took inspiration from the Beano and they just changed it or something. But you're saying that it's actually been created completely separately. That's interesting. That's one of those kind of wormholes I could end up falling down and, like, spending loads of time on. WWE Network on Peacock is $5. Well worth the investment. Could you imagine WrestleMania for $5? It's just insane, isn't it? Even just watching one WrestleMania once for $5 would have blown people's minds back in the day when they were having to pay crazy pay-per-view prices for WrestleMania. But if you was to go back to people, if wrestling fans from the 90s were to see us now, right, as they were, and they would find out that not only are we watching WrestleMania for $5, but we also are watching all of the previous pay-per-view shows and WCW, WWE, indie shows, the Raw, SmackDown, Nitro. Like, it's just, it's insane. It's insane. It's so insane that we absolutely take it for granted. I absolutely take it for granted. Absolutely. I should be on there 24/7. If I'm not streaming, I should be on the network, because when you would never be able to watch it all. There's not enough time. And even James couldn't watch it all. So there's so much stuff on there that, like, I feel like I should be on there so much more than I am. Yeah. Brilliant. Frank's 92, shout out to you, said, love this show. Who stood out in 2022? Frank's 92, shout out to you, buds. Appreciate the kind words. Who stood out for me in 2022? Well, obviously put your thoughts in the chat as well. Who stood out to you in 2022? I'm going to say something maybe a little controversial here. I'm going to say something a little controversial. I'm going to say that I can't think of a single name from NXT. I know. Controversial. I'm going to say not a single name stood out to me from NXT. I fully appreciate the potential of Carmelo Hayes. I fully appreciate the potential of Bron Breakker. I fully appreciate the potential of Grayson Waller. But none of those would get me to tune into NXT. None of those kept me around when NXT was 2.0. They are people that definitely make a show better when they're on a show, but they're not people that are going to drive me to the show. So MJF, for example, if MJF is on AEW and he's got a big segment, right? Something juicy that you know is a big segment, yeah? You're going to probably watch AEW. If you're interested in AEW, you're probably tuning into that, right? MJF is going to get you to tune in to AEW to see what he's got to say. He's always saying stuff like kill shots and witty lines. And, you know, you want to talk about promos of the year, you're talking Carmelo, you're talking MJF, right? So I sort of feel like MJF has got that ability to get me to tune into AEW because I need to see his segments. I know that if I miss an MJF segment, people are going to be talking about it. And it's going to be like, oh my God, did you see promo of the year? Promo of the year. He's got that ability to deliver a promo of the year whenever he talks. So I can't think of anyone in NXT that has that ability to, oh my God, I have to watch their match. I don't feel that way about Carmelo. I don't feel that way about Grayson. I don't feel that way about Bron. I don't feel that way about Roxanne. I don't feel that way about Cora Jade. Like, if I missed their matches, I'm sure they were good, maybe even great, but I don't think they're going to be the talk of the town. I don't think they're going to be, oh my God, that was incredible. That was, that was the greatest thing ever. The one that I wish I'd seen actually recently was FTR and Briscoes. I never watched Ring of Honor. I've never watched Ring of Honor, if I'm being truthful, so it's not something that was on my radar to watch. But I'm fully aware that they may have had the feud of the year. FTR and Briscoes have killed it. They have killed it. And that third match, I had people saying it's tag match of the year. It might even be match of the year. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the that one. So that's one that I don't know how I would watch, to be honest, without like paying for the show and then watching maybe a replay. But even so, I've had people saying, oh my God, that match has killed it. So again, I can't think of anything on NXT that's like that. I can't think of anything on NXT that generates that type of buzz, that has that, oh my God, this is a match of the year. You've got to see this. Like the FTR Briscoes, or promo-wise, like MJF. So that, just on a side note, is something that I really think NXT need to try and find in 2023. They need to find a wrestler that has the ability to deliver 5-star matches like Johnny Gargano used to, because that buzz was around Johnny. When Johnny used to have a big match, you were like, here we go. Or if it was going to be Gunther, and Gunther had a big match. Remember the Gunther Dragunov matches? They had that appeal. That second time they met, or Gunther against Tommaso Ciampa, that had that appeal. So I sort of feel like that, to me, is what NXT needs to find. It needs to find that, oh my God, you cannot miss this. You can't miss this. You can't miss this. I mean, I missed Judgment Day. Not Judgment Day. Deadline. Was it Deadline? I think it was Deadline. Was it Deadline? What was the one where they did the Iron Survivor matches? That thing. I missed that thing. And I had people telling me that they were good. I didn't get people telling me it was match of the year and, oh my God, you absolutely need to see it. Oh my God, these things are mental. Because sadly, that show, I would have watched it. But it was on at the same time as UFC. So I didn't get a chance to watch because I was watching the UFC pay-per-view. I had it on in the background, but it's never the same, is it? I did get people telling me that the New Day match was good, but then I did also get people telling me it was a bit silly and they weren't sure about it. I didn't get anyone talking about Bron and Apollo. I didn't get anyone talking about that. So this is for me what NXT needs to find in 2023. They need to find someone that delivers killer matches on a regular basis that's legit gets people talking. They could really do with someone that kills it promo wise. Like Grayson Waller is a great talker, but he doesn't have the kind of killer lines that MJF does. He doesn't really go like personal like MJF does. And as a result, like he just doesn't, no one tends to talk about it. There's not really like the same buzz. The reason why I'm spending so long on this is I'm about to move on from it. And like, I'm trying to explain why no one in NXT is going to feature on what I'm about to say, basically. So who stood out leaves me with AEW and it leaves me with the main roster. And I think that MJF stood out for the reasons that I just said. I think you couldn't miss his segments. I know it's a bit boring. I know he's stood out like year after year after year. But for that reason, he stood out because and continues to stand out. I think FTR stood out. I think that they can't miss. I think that their matches, when they did have them, they just continued to deliver. So FTR would be on that list. I would be leaning Jamie Hayter just because I think this was the year she really broke through and it felt like she was breaking through and they finally put the belt on her at the end of the year. So I feel like AEW agree and there must be other people that saw that because they pulled the trigger on it. There was a lot of buzz around her. I think there was people saying like, wow, she's really good. She really lays it in. She looks solid in there. It's no surprise she spent time in Japan. She just looks so good. She's really involved, really into it. Her work looks tidy, sells well. It doesn't look like she's plodding around or the pace is too slow. She looks like she's competing. I'm a big fan. So I'd say Jamie Hayter. I'd say MJF. I'd say FTR. I would even say the Acclaimed. The thing with the Acclaimed, they had a couple of my favorite tag matches this year. I loved them against Swerve in Our Glory. I thought their matches were absolutely brilliant. But I think bigger than that, their scissoring, right? The scissoring stuff, Scissor Me Daddy and all of that. I think that just got over like nothing else. Like Scissor Me Daddy ass and all of this. And it was great to see Billy Gunn being used in one of the biggest kind of angles of the year. Like the Acclaimed and their segments were massive and Billy Gunn was right there in the heart of it all. How weird, how strange that in 2022 Billy Gunn was an integral part of one of the biggest, most over acts on TV in 2022. Billy Gunn. And it had nothing to do with DX. In fact, it had nothing to do with WWE. That was brilliant. So love the fact Billy Gunn was involved in that. The Acclaimed. I understand that it didn't always hit. Like sometimes their raps when they come down, their intros weren't always electric, but a lot of the times they were. And their matches were a lot of the times really, really good. And as I said, them against Swerve and Our Glory was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I'd go Jamie, I'd go FTR, I'd go Acclaimed, I'd go MJF. I don't know if I said MJF. Over in WWE, you've got to say Roman. I think you've got to give props to Sammy and what he's done in the second part of the year since joining the Bloodline. I think Sammy has become can't miss. I think Roman's amazing. I don't know about any women. I don't know that Bianca can't miss. Don't know. I feel like her match at WrestleMania was amazing. I have to say she's probably right up there, but I don't know. She's also been in some pretty bad segments with Damage Control, which I just didn't think that feud was that great. And then I'm trying to think what she was doing just before. I suppose she was still doing the Becky thing, wasn't she, before that? Because she was feuding with Becky at SummerSlam when Damage Control made their debuts. I'd probably put Bianca in there, but that's one that I could see slipping off the list. I actually think it's been not the best year for women in WWE. I think that Charlotte has not really been around too much. Becky has been out with an injury for a little while. Charlotte was out. Bayley was out for most of the year. So, that wasn't great. It meant that, Ronda hasn't had the best of years. She came back and there's been some moments, but Liv got to the title. It was a big year for Liv, but she's someone that I'm waiting to give me the 5-star matches or give me the killer promos, and she's not giving me either. So I know there's a lot of people pleased for Liv, but she's not giving me, she's not doing enough. I'm sorry to say. I keep saying this. I don't mind Liv. I really don't mind Liv because I really appreciate the fact she wants to be a wrestler and she desperately trained hard and came through NXT. Apparently she used to work in Hooters and Enzo found her, discovered her, and gave her a chance in WWE. And she just wanted to be a WWE wrestler. That's what Liv wants to be. She is a kid with a genuine dream of being a WWE superstar that's living out that dream. So, I mean, that's just like all of us. Like, we all love WWE. We would love to be wrestlers. If I was young, I'd be a wrestler. And that's what she's doing. And she's working hard. And no one can say she's not put the grind in. No one can say that she's not put the graft in. No one can say that she hasn't paid her dues. She's constantly having matches and trying to push herself, and she's hungry for it. But the problem is her promos don't kill it. Her matches don't kill it. Like, she doesn't give us even 4-star matches, and we don't get killer promos that we remember. And it's a real shame. It's a real shame. So I don't know. We'll have to see if she can kick on again in 2023. If she was to start coming out and firing these amazing promos and just killing it on the mic, then getting in the ring and just having these amazing 4-star matches, even if it's not 5-star, but just really good. Oh my God, this is awesome. I mean, she'd be a lot of people's favorite wrestler then. I mean, she's got everything. She's paid her dues. She's, but she's not at that level for me. She's not at that level. I found Seth quite frustrating this year because I think Seth is someone that has put over a lot of people and he's done that for the good of the company. But I think he's also been a bit confused. We had a little bit of Monday Night Rollins for a little while. We've had a heel Seth. We've had a face Seth. We've had a Seth that dresses all in elaborate clothing. I mean, he's continuing to do that, but we did start to see him just dial that back a little bit as we were maybe going into a more Monday Night Rollins. But now he seems to be going back to the elaborate clothing. I feel like he's just a little bit all over the place, little bit unfocused, little bit it's not his fault. He just can't seem to get anything to get his teeth into. The feud with Cody was probably the best thing he did this year for me. And he lost all 3 matches, and I don't think he should. I've been very vocal about that. I don't think he should have lost the Hell in a Cell match. Because I think the whole story of that feud is it's very close with the matches. And then you get to that 3rd match. Cody's got a completely torn pectoral muscle. This arm just doesn't even work. The matches before have been really close. It's a no-brainer. This is too great of a mountain for Cody to climb. That loss, in my mind, made Seth look really weak because he couldn't beat a one-armed Cody is basically what I saw. He couldn't beat a one-armed Cody Rhodes. And I just don't really get it because the other matches where I had 2 arms Cody, they were really close. And this one, he couldn't get the job done against a clearly restricted, disabled Cody Rhodes. So, I don't know. Maybe that result actually hurt Seth a little in my eyes. I really thought that was one he should have won. He should have won that. I think even at that point, they must have known Cody was going away for a long time. And, they could have done it whereby Cody lost that last match. And, Seth starts beating him up afterwards. And that's the last we see of Cody. And we don't see Cody after that. That would have been a perfectly acceptable way for Cody to go off and have the surgery that he needed to have We didn't need to give Cody the win and then have Seth beat him up the next night on Raw. We didn't need to go that way. Instead, we did something which I thought wasn't the right way forward. So I don't know, like that, those kind of little bits just hold Seth back a bit for me. But from a selflessness point of view, he definitely deserves recognition because he has put over Cody and he has put over Riddle. Riddle's year is a bit interesting, but Riddle I find annoying a lot of the time. Honestly, the backstage stuff, like, do you want to hit my bong? That was funny for 1 week. And then everything after that was like, oh, I really started to grate on me. And I was like, I don't need this. This doesn't need to be a recurring thing. Like, I don't find this funny. And I just find that when he's doing that character, it works when Randy's around because you get Randy's reaction of, oh, God, not again. But you don't get that when Randy's not there. And when he's just doing it and there's nothing to bounce off, it doesn't work as well. So I'm sure there's tons of people that I'm forgetting. But just by having a quick journey around the promotions that we watch, those are some of the names that have stood out. Please acknowledge Jobberco and Scripps. Jobberco and Scripps. Big shout out to those guys. Big shout out to Jobberco and Scripps. Right, let's turn our attention, shall we, to AEW. We might as well, considering we're here to watch AEW. Let's turn our attention over to Holiday Bash as we have the show beginning. Riddle's gimmick was suited to NXT, said Steve. Here's Ricky Starks making his way down to the ring. Ricky Starks. Yeah, I mean, I think that when he was in Arcade Bro, I thought it worked all right. I wasn't really against it when he was in Arcade Bro, but there was definitely times where I think some of his lines just aren't that funny. But seeing Randy's reaction sort of saved it. But since Randy's gone, just hasn't felt as good. And now obviously he's had his problems and everything, so we'll see what he looks like in the new year. Let's see what he comes back like. I feel like he could do with a little tweak in his character. Maybe nothing too drastic, but... Right, let's do what Ricky Starks has got to say, shall we? Because he was unsuccessful last week at Winter is Coming. I might have lost, but I lost like a man. Maxwell won like a coward. Max doesn't have a pair of these, and he points to his little Miz balls. There will be a next time. If I was this close to beating you this time, imagine what happens next time, and there will be a next time. Brenton, shout out to you. Thoughts on Jericho wanting to face Starks? Another example of Y2J sapping off of others' popularity, in my opinion. I want Starks to stay in a title picture along with Danielson. I think there is potentially some truth in that he's trying to get some of their shine. I do also think, though, that Jericho does, and I don't know if he's wrong to do this, but regard himself as one of the greats of all time. I think in Jericho's mind, he is absolutely that. And I know there's many people out there that watch AEW that feel the same. I think he is someone that is... I think he is someone that is in that conversation. I don't think he's up there with like a Stone Cold. But, is he up there with Bret Hart maybe? Like just that level below. Like for me, Bret Hart is a great technical wrestler, but was never quite like the face of the company. He was sort of there or thereabouts, but he was never Stone Cold. He was never Cena. He was never Hogan. We've had this conversation before. I do wonder if Jericho, I don't know what his motivation is. I don't know if he does it because he just wants to keep famous, keep popular, and by, facing someone that's got a bit of buzz around them, he's doing that. Or is it that he genuinely thinks that his star power and who he is, who doesn't know who Jericho is, might be able to help this up and comer, if you will? Like, I don't know that I can go as far. Maybe the truth's in the middle. Maybe the truth's in the middle. Maybe it's like a win-win situation. I get to compete with the guy that's got a bit of buzz around them, and they get to compete with Chris Jericho and everything that Chris Jericho brings. I feel like the truth's probably around there. I don't know that it's a case that he's just like trying to drink off people's buzz. He's trying to get the spotlight all the time. I don't know that that's the case. Here is Jericho anyway. I've been watching you a long time, says Jericho. He is the best at reinventing himself, said Serge. Jericho was a top-tier talent and would be a certain Hall of Famer, but this whole run during his 50s, where he has worked with whoever's hot, I'm just getting a bit sick of, said Undercover Manager. I've seen a lot of people saying that. Jericho is a Hall of Famer, one of the best, but not Brett, said Doppelganger. Guaranteed Hall of Famer. No one's going to argue. I can't see anyone arguing with that. I mean, what he had, his longevity, those, even like his debut in WWE. I mean, just he's had so many amazing, the being the unified champion, the undisputed champion. What a moment that was for him. And then you think about more modern things like Festival of Friendship. How amazing that was. I mean, that was so good. He's got longevity. He's got in-ring ability. Lion Tamer when he was like doing all that stuff. Lionheart and whatever. Like he's killed it in so many different promotions. He's not just a Hall of Famer. Dare I say, do you even make the statue? The statue is actually seen as the level above the Hall of Fame in WWE. You could even argue the statue might be warranted. But I can't go as far as to put him in a GOAT conversation. I can't go as far as to say he's one of the greatest or is the greatest of all time. I think they want to bring him in, do they? They're applauding. They want to bring in Ricky into the Jericho Appreciation Society. You know what I like about you? The fact you know how to stay relevant. Yeah, you were coming out here built like an air fryer a couple of months ago. But now you're lean and mean and shredded. You're like a father on his 5th divorce. Some good lines here by Ricky Starks, Some good lines by Ricky Starks. Whilst the offer is tempting to join your little boy band, he turns it down. Ricky Starks doing a really good job here. He says about how Jericho's stock has dropped. Jazz Hole said, erase your mind. Jazz holes. Jazz holes, champ. Oh, Ricky, you are taking your time in the spotlight here, mate. Sammy, I couldn't care less about you. He says, Danny, what has Chris done for you? You lost your title, right? I'm not going to let you suck the life out of me. That won't happen. But if you are looking for something to suck, damn. I mean, look, what I would say is there's a lot of people that will criticize Jericho getting into a feud with Ricky Starks. But look at this. He's opening the show. Jericho has come out and he has just killed him. He has just killed him on the microphone. He has been given this opportunity to take on this big star, and he has killed it. He has done a fantastic job. That is brilliant work by Ricky Starks. Hager attacks from behind, and they're beating up Ricky. Jobberco's going to return. It is Jobberco. Yeah, it is Jobberco. Jobberco's coming down. Top rope gets pulled down. Big clothesline. Jobberco is here. I don't know his name. Action Jobber. Jobberco returns to save Ricky. Joe said, Brock attacked the White Rabbit. What does this mean? Nothing. Literally nothing. Doesn't mean a thing. I saw it. It's fun. It's a little holiday thing. I think they just wanted a nice way to kill the rabbit off with something that was iconic this year. And I suppose you could have gone with maybe Kurt Angle and his milk truck. Like we did get that a few weeks ago, but you could argue that Farmer Brock and his tractor is more iconic, certainly after what we saw at SummerSlam. That was such an amazing moment that I don't put anything into that whatsoever. Sheeta's back. That should be fun, said Lister Jericho. Lance said 4 guys and a bat running away from 2. Brendan said Mandy as a 22 standout, not for me. NXT Women's Champ for 400 days, but that's booking, isn't it? That's not like really. Well, you can't say it's not an achievement. It is an achievement. But if in those 400 days you don't really have killer promos, you don't really have killer matches, and you're just the women's champion because they're building you up because they want to make you this big deal, that's more the booking, to be honest. Mandy Rose, to me, I mean, like, can we list, like, 5 great... She's been champ for 400 days. Can we list 5 incredible Mandy Rose matches that we all need to go and watch? I don't know that we can do that. I don't know. I could tell you one. And her promos as well. I mean, they were, paint by numbers. Oh, sweetie, you think you're good enough to beat me? Blah, 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 blah. Like, for me, just not enough on the mic, not enough in the ring. I think what we were doing with Mandy was we were trying to legitimize her and make her feel like this massive deal and this massive star by constantly banging on about how long she'd had this women's title. Because, to be honest, she wasn't doing it on her own. She wasn't getting herself over with her promos and her matches. So we had to use the booking to do it instead, which is I am one of the longest reigning women's champions. Like, no one in NXT can stop me type thing, and give her something to brag about. But if you actually look at her promos, look at her matches, she didn't stand out to me. I was not tuning into NXT to see Mandy Rose. I'm sure there definitely were some people though, but I don't think that was wrestling related. Right, we are going over to our next match, and this is going to be the Elite versus Death Triangle. This is going to be a no DQ match. So, if you are just joining us, Merry Christmas, and Merry Christmas to everyone that's out there. Hope you do have a fantastic Christmas. If I don't see you before, we have got a stream on Friday for SmackDown. And we are, I think, probably going to do a retro WrestleMania stream on Saturday night. That seems to be the stream that's I'm really interested in 18. I'm really interested in WrestleMania 18. Can't guarantee it will be that. Things can change. But at the moment, I think WrestleMania 18 is where I'm leaning. So that could be fun, unlike Christmas Eve. See The Rock against Hogan again. And actually, do you know what? That's a WrestleMania I just, for whatever reason, have very, very rarely gone back to. Very rarely gone back to. Not because I don't love the main event or anything, but I don't know. It's weird in a way because it's sandwiched between 17 and 19, which are arguably the two greatest. Then you've got 18 in the middle. So I sort of feel like if you're watching something from that era, you'll go to 17. If you want something a bit different, you'll go 19. I don't know when you get to 18. I think you get to 18 if you want to specifically watch Rock versus Hogan. I just haven't gone back to it in so long. That's why I'm like super up for it. So we might do that on Saturday night. But if you are just joining us, then you will have missed us talking about this match earlier. And we were saying that this is a no disqualification match. It is the Elite against Death Triangle. It's 3-1 to Death Triangle. And what that means is that they are just one win away from taking the best of 7 series. So that means they're probably not going to win here, to be honest. Nakazawa charging over. I don't know who this is. Someone running over. Who is that in the elf costume? Oh, is that Brandon Cutler? All right, Brandon Cutler gets super kicked. Another kick there by Matt Jackson. Nick with a corkscrew kick. Springboard missile drop kick by Phoenix. This is just a million miles an hour. Kenny comes in. He plants Phoenix. Now we've got a trash can being introduced by Penta. He wallops Omega over the head. No. Mero. This match is terrible already, said Lone Star Friends. I'm looking forward to Saturday night. I know Days will have details about matches. Take us back. It's going to be a blast, said Jilly. Yeah, I will do some research into it. I mean, I know a few bits about it, obviously, from having watched it at the time, but I'll definitely do a refresh where I can find out a few facts and figures and things. Should be good. You have beautiful mountains. Thank you, Sonny. That's very kind. I would say same to you, but I would be cancelled, so I'm not allowed to say things along those lines. I only just noticed the background, said Maggie. Lovely winter scene. We changed it last week for Winter is Coming, if I'm going to be completely honest. And I normally at the end of the stream shut the stream down to do whatever it is I need to go and do. And then I never get back to these streams until we do them the next week. Like, they're all saved as their own individual streams. So this is still just left over from last week. But in all fairness, it is lovely. And it is quite Christmassy, so it'll do. Winter is here. Yes. Last few matches were so much better, said James. I think we are just going picture in picture at the moment. Picture in picture. We do have Death Triangle on the outside of the ring. The bad Jackson brother is not great. Yeah. Michael never had much training, though, in all fairness. But what a voice. What a voice. Did you get your invitation for the coronation of the new king in March? No, isn't it May? I thought it was May that he was getting coronated. I might watch that. I don't know. I like all that kind of ceremony malarkey. I don't mind that. I watched the Queen's funeral. I might watch that. Right, is gone and wrecked a tree. What are we doing? Where is everyone? There's Nick Jackson. Nick Jackson coming over, throwing in strike. Penta's just gone and wrecked a Christmas tree. We've got 2 tables set up at an angle. I actually don't know where Omega and everyone else has gone. I think they've been beaten up. Penta's trying to put a tree in the corner. Tell you what, that base looks a little bit moody. The base of the tree is like this flat, I'm guessing, metal plate. It's kind of sticking up at an angle, you know. That doesn't strike me as a great idea. I mean, obviously, if you can throw them over that, but if there's like a metal plate, the base of the tree is sticking up at like a 45-degree angle. Hell, that's a health and safety nightmare right there, let me tell you. Why are they teasing Lesnar Bray? They're not. Joy, I think you're reading too much into it, but I said earlier, I think they wanted something to kill White Rabbit off with. And so, you know, you could have done Kurt and his milk truck. Maybe you could have done, I don't know, I'm trying to think of some other vehicles, to be honest. I can't really think of anything, but they ended up going with Brock and his tractor. That's iconic from SummerSlam. And obviously Farmer Brock as well. So I don't think I don't read it as a tease that it's Brock destroying White Rabbit and that this fun holiday cartoon is going to lead towards a match between Brock and Bray. I don't see that at all. I just think this is a fun holiday cartoon thing, which I will do a quick little video on because it is fun. There'll be some people out there that might not have seen it yet. I'll do that after this, bring people up to speed with that. But I think it was literally just a big moment of the year was Brock and his tractor at SummerSlam. And they just wanted to find a way of including that in the little cartoon. Super kick again. That tree, and the base of this tree really bothers me, you know. Super kick again as Phoenix goes over. Super kicks a chair that is in the corner. Pat grabs the leg of Nick Jackson, stomping away on the leg. It's a sacrificial tree, said Erase Your Minds. Brenton said, I want to say that WrestleMania 8 has got a good RVD match for the IC title. Take a Flair, no DQ. Really good build-up, especially video packages to get you up to speeds. Brenton, shout out to you. It's not a tease. They just need to kill off White Rabbit. It's cool when the White Rabbit thing like becomes Uncle Howdy. That's fun, isn't it? It's kind of showing that that's what White Rabbit became in a way. Kenny going over, grabbing Pac. He's got Pac on his shoulders. Going to look to flip over and he grabs the trash can. He's going to moonsault over and he does. Knees. The knees were up by Pac though. Don't understand that. Hit him on the knees. If you crowd are into it, it's just a big holiday Christmas mess. Got barbed wire, broom, a broom wrapped in barbed wire. Ledger Killer, hello, shout out to you. Stone Cold versus NWO also happened at 18, said Lister Jericho. Well, I'll tell you what, there's so much talk about 18. I think that we could absolutely be. I mean, I'm pretty confident we're going to do it anyway, but seems like people are fairly into it, fairly excited by it. So I haven't even looked how long it is, to be honest. But in all fairness, we normally do UFC, which is like 6 hours long. So Phoenix goes face first onto the barbed wire broom. And he's actually sweeping with the broom. He is the cleaner. He's cleaning, living up to his name. If he was going to really commit to the cleaner, he'd whip out a duster, start doing all the ring posts and everything. Barricades. Right, we've got the Bucks. Bucks are both looking to climb up. We've got the tables out, and we've got elbow drop. Penta goes through. Nick Jackson's taken for Evs. Senton. Pat goes through. Kenny Omega drives Phoenix into a broom. He ends up putting barbed wire into his own backside. Clever. Going for the pin. 1, 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. Shoulder, shoulder up. Shoulder up. Right, the tree has been chucked out the ring. You're out of there! You? Out of there! In comes Matt Jackson, is it? This is awesome chant from the AEW fans. Young Bucks picking up Phoenix. Phoenix is on his knees. Alex has grabbed the leg of Kenny. Hack is getting back on the edge of the ring. Duck underneath. Top rope enziguri as Phoenix comes over. Goes against the ropes looking for a cutter. V-trigger. V-trigger. Kenny now looking for the one-winged. One-winged. No. Reversed. 1. Hurricanrana 2. That was close. 2.999 recurring. Alex gets up. He throws Phoenix the hammer. Phoenix has got the hammer. He doesn't want to use it. Oh, he does use it, though. He wallops Kenny with it. 1, 2. And Kenny kicks out after being MC hammered. There's some people in the crowd that have got 2s. Oh, they're dressed as refs, you know. Kenny chants. What's he gone and grabbed? What's he got? Is that tinsel? Is he choking him with tinsel? Merry Christmas. Crossface being applied with tinsel. The strongest, most deadliest weapon in wrestling. Tinsel. 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 Rivy said, MC hammered. Kick coming in there by Matt Jackson. Have you learnt to control your dreams? No. I've learnt to midway restart my dream after I didn't like the outcome. It's weird. I don't think dream people appreciate me constantly restarting it. Are you upsetting dream people, Sonny? Don't know upset them, mate. Right. Penta has got the hammer. Oh, there's lots of hammers. Everyone's got a hammer. Yay! You get a hammer, and you get a hammer. Bucks grabbing Lucha Bros. Phoenix gets suplexed. Phoenix is dazed. Nick Jackson climbing up. He's on one leg. Meltzer driver, is it? 1, 2, 3, and the Elite victorious AEW Holiday Bash. I didn't even know this was Holiday Bash, I didn't. Nothing on this stream says Holiday Bash, not the title, nothing in the tags, nothing in the description. I had no idea this was Holiday Bash. It does make sense, of course. Right, so 3-2 is where we are. It's hammer time. If this match is awesome, then I'm a multi-billionaire, said James. Ooh, James isn't feeling it. I think it's just a big million miles an hour mess, but that's what a lot of these fans enjoy. The interior sequences from Home Alone are part of a complex replica of the famous house that was built in the gym of New Trier Township High School for the movie. Kojiko. Did you know that you can get Home Alone trainers? And did you know that my brother has bought them? Yeah. Cool, isn't he? So you can get, they do 2 pairs. They do some that are based on the first film, which are based on the trainers that he actually wore in the film, Macaulay Culkin, Kevin. And then they do second pair that are based on something to do with the second film, which no one ever watches the second film. So I think he bought both, I think he's got both pairs. Right, they're still trying to pull these 2 teams apart. Right, here we go. Last week we're seeing MJF backstage after his main event. That's my moment. You're a nobody. I beat Ricky Starks clean. Should have been my moment. I can't remember who got involved. Who got involved? Everyone wants to eat off my plate. Who got involved? I can't remember. I can't remember. Who was he having a go at? Don't disparage Mud Show. Mud Shows are hot, said Mr. Unfamiliar. Heather says, careful, MJF. Brian. I don't remember him coming down. Did he come down after the match? Why can't I remember? That was only a week ago. This isn't a knock of AEW. This is a knock of my flipping memory. Danielson. I cannot remember what he did. I cannot remember Danielson coming down. I remember MJF retained, but I can't even tell you how. I can't remember exactly what happened. Okay. Well, I mean, look, MJF Danielson, that'll be fantastic. That'll be fantastic. Is anyone watching this? Cornette is right 100%, 1,000% when he talks about Trampoline Cowboys. Bucks and Omega need to be out of AEW. But, I mean, look, it's not my style. I've said it till I'm blue in the face. That match doesn't do anything for me. I don't like that stuff, but it got this is awesome chance. Like this is what these fans enjoy. This is what the hardcore AEW fans are looking for. That's their style of wrestling. Fine. I've said before, it's like music, innit? You know, I sort of feel like there's some people that are into blues. There's some people that are into reggae. There's some people that are into metal. There's some people that are into pop. There's some people that are into rock. There's some people that are into dance. There's some people that are into Afrobeat. There's some people that are into ska. There's some people that are into country. There are some people that are into spoken words, right? Poetry. And you've got all these different interests. I feel like the AEW fans are into, a little bit of everything. But they do appreciate that Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, million miles an hour type move, type match. That's AEW. It's not all of AEW, in all fairness, It's not like every match is like that. But I think I've learned that this is what AEW is going to be. That you're not going to take that out of AEW. You're not gonna lose that. Like, you either have to just accept that that's going to happen, ignore it if you're not a fan of it, or either learn to like it or just not watch AEW, because I think it's just always going to be there. I really do. We're back from commercial break. Hardcore. Death Country. I've never heard of Death Country, actually. I'd be down for listening to some Death Country. Here is Jobberco. My life hasn't been the same. I've had an overwhelming amount of support and love from the AEW fan base. I knew that they wouldn't just sit back and watch their lead get beat, the Jericho Appreciation Society. So I'm ready whenever, wherever. Take it easy. Here's Daddy Magic. You're on a hot streak. You're on fire right now. Oh, the Wizards. The Wizard arrives. Fire in the face. Merry Christmas, kid. The Wizard. The Wizard. Fire in the face. Horrific. So Jericho putting fire in the face of the kid that beat him last week. Jericho putting fire in the face of Jobberco. Here's Bryan Danielson. See what he's got to say. Renee in the ring, looking lovely. Hello. Ding dong. Hello. Danielson. That'd be a good sound effect to have for next year. Ding dong. Hello. Hello. I saw a documentary on Sean Connery earlier. I think that's influenced me. To genuinely see a documentary about Sean Connery was really interesting. What a guy. Okay. Yeah, where does this leave Blackpool Combat Club? I don't expect the Blackpool Combat Club to forgive William Regal. But here's the thing. I first trained wrestling right here in San Antonio, Texas. My first match was 15 minutes up the road. Getting some cheap pops. Cheap pops is learnt from the best. I was trained by Rudy Boy Gonzalez and Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels mentioned on AEW. Oh my God. Is there a HBK chant on AEW TV? Was there a HBK chant? Wow. HBK. Cheap Pops. When Regal was in the hospital and I thought I'd never see him again, I cried. That man has made my life better. He's made my wrestling better. You know what William Regal has meant to this industry. God, he's really putting over William Regal, isn't he? Shame he's not around in AEW anymore. HBK hometown. I think AEW is not sure. This is HBK's hometown. I'm doing nights. Can you stretch this out till 6 a.m., said Steve. Let's see what I can do, Steve. There are consequences to your actions, MJF. Don't think for a second I haven't been listening to every single word you've ever said. There are consequences when you hospitalize someone that I love. As much as my family, there are consequences. He calls out MJF. Passion from Bryan Danielson. That was good. Oh, this isn't MJF. I just thought you could put Ethan Page with Saraya, and then you could do a bit where, like, someone says Page, and they both turn around. That would be fun. I don't know why that just came to my head, and it tickled me. Ethan Page made it to the final of the Battle Royal. Bryan Danielson didn't do that. I think they're chanting shut the F up to Ethan Page here. Vegetable Man. Vegetable Man. He calls Bryan Danielson Vegetable Man. Yeah, a whole new gimmick. Vegetable Man. You could come down on a pass ship. Ethan and Brian, plug that into my veins, says Heather. I hope when AEW comes to the UK next year, they'll feature Cara Noir, CCK. Yeah, why did they get rid of Millie McKenzie? Why did they get rid of Millie McKenzie? I couldn't hear. Did you just insult me by calling me Vegetable Man? You raggedy B word. You raggedy witch. Booze for Ethan Page as he talks. That raggedy thing's going to get over. I called you Vegetable Man because if you think you're jumping ahead of me, I will literally turn you into a vegetable. Which one? Make him a potato. Make him a carrot. This is hard-hitting stuff. This is hard-hitting stuff. If you're going to turn me into a vegetable, turn me into a vegetable right here, right now. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, the crowd are chanting yes. What a weird promo this is. Boos are raining down. Alex said AEW have got the best crowds. If you really want me to turn you into a vegetable that bad, let's do it next week. You guys suck. I'm not doing it for San Antonio. See you next week, Brian. Smile on the face of MJF as he watched all of that unfolds. That was a fun segment. I've enjoyed the promos. I mean, the Bryan Danielson stuff there was good. The Ricky Stark stuff was good. Oh, hello. Rampage, 300,000 Three Kings Christmas Casino Trios Royale. What's this? Big Battle Royal winners get $300,000. Hangman and Moxley. Is that Friday? Is that Friday? That was last Friday. Here's Moxley. $300,000 Trios Casino Battle Royal. Whew. Need to lie down after just saying the match. It's all about vegetables and gluten-free Trader Joe's specials, said Savages of Deletion. Don't underestimate Ethan Page's fan base. His toy hunts skyrocket, his persona, and his all-ego brands. Frank said these promos need to be scripted because they are lackluster. Only MJF can cut promos. Undercover Manager said that's a mouthful. It's a mouthful. Are you dead set on 18? I like 18, but I think 21, 23 are awesome. Money in the Bank, in particular, Umaga against Bobby. I don't know, to be honest. I'm not saying I'm dead set on it, but I think the main event of 18 is more tantalizing than Umaga Bobby. Umaga Bobby doesn't grab me as much. I'm nowhere near as excited to watch that as I would be for Hogan and The Rock. But no, it's not that I'm dead set on it. Scott said, bit of a mouthful, a bit like Ricky was promising Chris Jericho earlier. Woo! Okay, we've got a Moxley promo right now. I don't like the Page Moxley stuff. It makes no sense, says Kyle. Ricky Stark's promos are awesome, and he torched Maxwell. Maggie said, Sonny, I am starving. I'm going to eat some smoky pig crisps. Oh, check you out. Right, we are at commercial break. Not even picture-in-picture. We have just got a graphic that says AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash. And, yeah, I think it's been all right so far. Definitely. I feel like we've had 3 segments. We've had the Ricky Stark segment, we had the match, and then we had the Bryan Danielson segment. I said before, I'm not crazy about the match, but the 2 promos have been really enjoyable. Really enjoyable. So I'll be interested to see what we've got coming up next that can kind of keep the momentum going. Heather said, unrelated, the new Malachi Black figure is sick. Unrelated, I can see what's happening right now whilst we're at commercial break, and it is just a spotlight in the ring. Look at that. Guys, as you are at commercial, that is what is happening in AEW right now. There is an empty ring with a spotlight on it whilst you are at commercial break. We've got some movement in the background. A wrestler is getting into the ring, guys. A wrestler is getting into the ring. I can't identify that wrestler. I don't know who that wrestler is. He's warming up at the moment. We've got big Christmas holiday breaking news. Look at this. A wrestler has got in the ring. He's warming up. He's stopped warming up. He's not standing in the spotlights. Now we are getting the ring announcer coming in. This is big breaking news. Ring announcer getting into the ring right now. This is going to be big. This is big. And they are talking whilst we were at commercial break. There is a conversation going on. And this is what we can look forward to when we come back from the commercial break. This is huge. This is... there's a referee! Wow! A referee! I'm gonna say it's Bryce. I have no idea who these people are. I know Aubrey and then not Aubrey. And this is not Aubrey as things cut off. Guys, when you come back... Spoiler, we're going straight to a match. Straight to a match. And the referee will be not Aubrey. So... You heard it here first. I'm basically the new Sean Rossap. That's basically what I am. I'm the new Days Meltzer. That's not Jobberco. It's Joxley. Wow, Joxley. I feel like that would be some great underwear. Do you wear boxers or briefs? I wear Joxleys. Do you? Joxleys, yeah. Wear Joxleys. They're really comfortable and they're great for sport. Ooh. Samoa Joe's just wishing us a happy new year. That's nice, isn't it? Wardlow, I'm going to give you more than you ever asked for. Oh my God, that is so nice. Oh, I'm going to take from you. I'm going to give you more than you ever asked for. I'm going to take from you. That doesn't even make sense, Samoa Joe. Happy holidays. Now he's back to being nice again. Oh, my God. He's all over the road. He's all over the road. Right. Next up, with the lights are going off, that can mean a number of things, but it means Hook. Next contest. Here he comes. Hookosaurus. He is the FT Dub champion. Hook! Joxley. Margaret Bobby with Vincent Trump in the corners with Steve Austin as a rest. Hair is hair. The match drew money for WrestleMania 23, says Brenton. I'm back. I'm just checking to see what my mom is up to. I'm not your mom, Hayden. Are you under the impression I'm your mom, Hayden? Got some bad news, if that's so. I'm your sister. Who would actually be Meltzer? Meltzer does my head in, says Rainbows and Unicorns. Well, who's this? Joxley. Exodus Prime! Exodus Prime! Exodus Prime! How's that allowed? Does he transform? Exodus Prime. He's a wrestler, but then he can turn into a car and drive himself to the next town. The best. Exodus Prime. Perhaps he's named himself after Logan Paul's beverage. Exodus Prime sounds like he should be related to Optimus Prime. No, Days, my mother Days. No, I'm not your mother. Hayden, please do not refer to me as my mother Days. Don't call me Mother Days, because you're going to be sending out wrong messages there, Hayden. I'm not your mother, buds. I'm your auntie. Have Hook fight someone who isn't a jobber. He's taking out a Transformer at the moment. That's pretty impressive. He's just destroyed Optimus Prime. We've got a backstage beatdown. Is that Jungle Boy? Jungle Boy getting driven back into... Is that Lee Moriarty? Did he hit his own on the pin? Did he hit his own head on the pin? When he drove Jungle Boy back, I think he hit his own head on the pin. Because when he re-emerged, he was like, oh, wow. Oh, geez, Louise. Wow, that stings. That smarts. Woo. Amazing. Hook leaves the ring, and now we've got... that wasn't really much for Hook, was it? That's it, done. He beat Optimus Prime. He beat Bumblebee, and now he's walking off. I don't know what this is. Moxley, you make my heart sing. Get away, you. The security guard came down. He's going, get away. Moxley in the crowd. Lee Moriarty can't even do that right, said Lance. Optimus who? I'm confluxed. Is this a free-for-all? It's all over the place, mate. It's a beautiful mess. We had Exodus Prime taking on Hook. That match lasted about a minute. Then we went backstage. Jungle Boy was being beaten up by Lee Moriarty, who seemed to drive his own head into the side of a dumpster and get hurt. Then Hook left the ring, and immediately now we've got Moxley coming out, all in the space of like 5 minutes. This is the match equivalent of when Excalibur's like having to do all that quick talking. I feel like that's what we're seeing now with these matches. Here's Hook. Here's Optimus Prime. Here's some backstage. Here's Jon Moxley. What? What are we doing? Where are we? I'm surprised that this hasn't finished already. Moxley. He's come down with Claudio. Come down with Claudio. Hayden says, sorry, my bad. Listen, Hayden, you never apologize to me, yeah? If you think I'm your mother, doesn't bother me, mate. Doesn't bother me, Hayden. In many ways, I see you as the son I always wanted, Hayden, to be honest, mate. You make sure you have a great Christmas. That's an order. Where's Moxley going now? Moxley's gone. Where's he going? Moxley's jumped out the ring and he's done one. Moxley's gone. What's going on? I don't know what this is. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Bye. Bye, Moxley. Where's he going now? Now he's making his way back to the ring. What's that? It goes down into the corner. I don't even know what that was. He got into the ring. All of a sudden, he jumped out of the ring, went back in the crowd, went and did a loop, signed someone's sign, and came back to the ring. Did he want the whole music to play? And he was thinking to himself, I ain't going to stand here whilst this is playing. Oh, was that commercial break? Oh my God. It's so annoying not knowing when we're at commercial. Weren't we just at commercial? We literally just went to commercial because I was showing you the dude in the ring. I had no idea we were at commercial then. I'm paying attention to things I don't even need to pay attention to. He came out, Moxley jumped in the ring. Then all of a sudden he jumps out the ring, did a loop, signed someone, got back into the ring. And now Top Flight have come out, and actually this is going to be a match. Right. Mox and Claudio versus Top Flight. And we are now into the final hour. Right, Moxley driving Top Flight's back in the corner. I had no idea we were at commercial break. I just had no idea what he was doing. I don't even know when we went to commercial break. Halftime scores. Yeah, halftime scores. Halftime scores, everybody. It's the halftime scores, everybody. It's the halftime scores. I really want to know your halftime scores. Put it in the chat. Halftime scores, everybody. It's the halftime scores. Are you happy? It's the halftime scores. Are you happy or you sad? Halftime scores, everybody. It's the halftime scores. I should get that recorded. If I got it recorded, I could just press play then. Just sit here like this. I saw people going, it's a singles match. It is a singles match. So Mox is in there with Dante Martin. Is it Martin? Who is it? Darius Martin. Darius Martin. Drop kick as Mox goes to the outside. So 6.5, 4, 2, 6, 6.2, 7.2, 5, 5, 7, 4, 7.2, 9, 6.5, 8. Sometimes it's best not to know, said Maggie. 7, 7, 7, 7. Top Dollar should join Top Flight. He soars like an eagle. That's a great suggestion. If anyone embodies Top Flight, it's Top Dollar, who flew like an absolute eagle. You're right. So graceful. A lot of people ask me, who's your favorite birds? No one's ever asked me what my favorite bird is. But if they did, it would be Top Dollar. 6.5 said Legend Killer. 6.21 said Rivy. 6.5 says Alex. The promos have been good. 7.8 said Braden. 7 said CJ. I don't have the pi symbol, says Sunny. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, Sunny. Will you consider going to AEW's UK debut, said Brenton. Did they ever say what stadium it is? I don't know if they have said, but someone told me that it is Craven Cottage, which is Fulham's stadium. Would I consider going there? No. No, because I'm guessing that that'll be part of the show and they'll film it, so we'll be here for it, you know. Big shots coming in. Top Dollar flopped like a beach whale. 7.21. Who was thrown in the dumpster? Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy got chucked in the dumpster. Going up top goes Darius. He gets hit there by Moxley. Top Dollar is mad underrated. He flies like a pro. Listen, he is the luchador we never knew we needed. Put him in a mask and call him El Dollaro. And that'll be it. Boom. Moxley is inviting Martin back into the ring. Darius Martin doesn't go in between the ropes like Moxley had opened for him. He actually rolls under the bottom rope. Moxley grabbing Martin, picking him up, dumping him down. Darius turned inside out. Days, what's your favourite bird? Is it the red rooster, Frankie the parrot, or the fabulous Sweetbirds? Thank you for asking that question, Russell with Andy. The correct answer is Linda McMahon. Linda McMahon is my favourite birds. There are rumours that Eva Marie is going to return to WWE. Yeah, but those rumours have been started and ended by Eva Marie. I ain't buying it. Don't try and sell it to me because I ain't buying it. Could she be at the Rumble? She could, in all fairness. They could use her for the Rumble. But I don't expect her to make a full-blown return. Is Moxley bleeding? Nope. Not yet. Not yet. Moxley up top looking for he's raking the back of Darius Martin. Superplex. Still to come tonight, we got Jamie Hayter taking on Hikaru Shida. Who do you guys think is going to beat Roman Reigns from AEW? I don't know that Roman would ever face anyone from AEW, to be honest. Wardlow might come in. MJF might come in. I think they'd be interested in those two. Got Darius, Chop. Darius trying to fire back. Moxley with a big strike. Given AEW's track record of big shows, the UK show could be big. Do you think they will go the WWE route and push Jinder and India? I don't know that they need to. I mean, you could maybe make the argument they've put the belt on Jamie Hayter with that in mind, but the UK just loves wrestling. You don't really have to pander to the UK audience. I mean, if you're just going to bring over the likes of, I don't know, Moxley, Danielson, Sting, MJF, UK crowd are going to eat it up. I don't know that you really have to do that. It helps that Jamie Hayter would be a champ anyway. I don't know that you'd want to take the belt off her before that UK show. But even if you did, it's not the end of the world. It's just those people are going to be super over. Jamie Hayter's going to be cheered like a homecoming hero, of course. And deservedly so. Pac is going to get a great reaction. But I don't think you need to do anything stupid like put the world title on Pac. I mean, Jamie Hayter's got it, but she deserves it. I don't think there'd be too many people that would argue against Jamie Hayter being women's champ. So I don't think you need to. I would recommend not taking the belt off Jamie Hayter before that show, or if you do, put it back on her. Because she's going to get one of the biggest reactions of the night. What you could do is you could take it off Jamie Hayter and then at the UK show, put it back on Jamie Hayter. You could do that, maybe. Maybe. I can't wait to see the new changes to the Dynamite set, said Ron. Do you feel like the show feels like it's dragging? I mean, I don't really need this match because I don't really know why I'm getting this match. And I've said before, I'm not really a fan of tag teams having singles matches. Sometimes they can be all right, but I don't know. I just look at Top Flight as a tag team. So I think this is maybe just a build for Friday's Battle Royal, is it, or something? Moxley stomping away. Grant. Oh, Grant, your video was so good. Grant Jameson sent a video over in the Wrestling Escape Pod. It killed it. It's one of the best videos we've ever had. Everything I said on that Wrestling Escape Pod thing, Grant, was true, mate. You killed it. And you need to send through a video next week. Don't need it to be funny. Don't need you to worry about making like a massive effort, but it would be lovely to know how your Christmas went. Moxley picks up the win. That's a really interesting point, actually. If anyone wants to share like an insight into their Christmas, feel free to do that. Like, you can show us a little video of what you received, or show your Christmas dinner like laid out, or show like, whatever you want to show basically about Christmas. You can send that over to wrestlingdays@gmail.com. Send it as like a little video clip. Or if it's just pictures, you can send them as pictures. But send them over and we'll put them on next week's Wrestling Escape Pod podcast. So that's got its own channel, and it goes out on a Wednesday just before AEW. So actually next week, the hour before AEW, next week's Wrestling Escape Pods, that could have like loads of your videos and pictures and just things from the community. It is like a community podcast. We do like constantly get people sending stuff in. And then when, like, you know, we're not looking at stuff, we tend to look at like the WWE Instagram pictures of the week and have some fun with those. So honestly, I'm loving the Wrestling Escape Pod at the moment. I think it's so much fun. And I look forward to doing it each week. And next week should be special because hopefully we're going to get in loads of videos and pictures. Do it. We should get some really good stuff. I'd love to see what people got. And obviously, if it's wrestling related, brilliant. If it's not, it doesn't really matter. I think it's just interesting to just have that glimpse into other people's Christmases and what it was like for them. Like, what did you have to eat in Canada? What did you have in, you know, I don't know, Europe? What did you have in Australia? What did you have in America? What did you have in England? What did you have in Ireland? Blah, 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 blah. Mexico, wherever. India. How did you celebrate Christmas? What did you get? What was you hoping for? Did you get what you was hoping for? What did you have to eat? What did you have to drink? Anything. So, yeah. But yeah, Grant, you absolutely killed it, but I loved your video. It's totally my humor. And I totally agree with Triple T. You should totally start a TikTok or your own YouTube channel or something along those lines. Because I reckon if you could just put little videos up like that, like have to think that if I enjoyed it, other people would enjoy them. And so then, like, you know, boom. A star is born. Rob said that was one of the few AEW matches that shouldn't have gone that long. It should have ended quicker than Moxley walk into the corner in the commercial break that you did a play for. At the moment, I fancy some smoked gammon, says Maggie. Oh. Who are some Brits that you would like to see in AEW and WWE on the Indies? Someone in the chat mentioned some names. Yeah, I mean, I don't know many Brits on the Indies. We were talking earlier about how the Indies feel a bit flat at the moment. There's not really much buzz around. I mean, I know the Billingtons. I'm aware of them. I believe they're I don't know if they're the sons or the nephews of the Dynamite kids. So I'm aware that they're around. I'm aware, obviously, of Cara Noir. We spoke about Cara Noir quite a few times. I would love to see Cara Noir go to NXT or AEW. The entrance would just be stunning. I mean, so athletic. Like, it's all like I don't know the song. Is it Swan Lake? Dun 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 na 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 na. I think it's like Swan Lake or something. But Cara Noir comes out and, like, when he throws out his arms and he's got that kind of like peacock sort of robe, like, it's such an impactful entrance. You watch the entrance and you just go, wow. Like, you're just totally in. And then he's so athletic and so good in the ring as well. How Cara Noir is still not in AEW or WWE, I literally have no idea. So maybe next year we see Cara Noir going somewhere. I mean, I could only imagine they've got him tied down to NXT Europe or something. I don't know. Those are a couple of names. And Millie McKenzie. I mean, Millie McKenzie was in NXT UK. She has wrestled over in Japan, and she, again, I don't even know why she was let go. I thought she was a great, promising young talent. Good to see Trent Seven coming into AEW, though. I believe he's around. I don't know if he's been signed, but it's good to see him around. Here's the living legends. FTR. Cara Noir has been wrestling in DDT in Japan and WXW in Germany, says Bill. Bill had a great list. I think it was Bill earlier, wasn't it, that had like this big long list of talent he'd like to see. There's some good names on there. Chris Brooks, I saw mentioned. Are you going to watch the new Power Slap show? I don't know. I mean, first of all, I don't even know if I can. I don't know if it's being shown here in the UK. I mean, it could be fun, but I don't know how much interest there is in it. I don't know how much buzz there is around it. I feel like a lot of the MMA community might tune in just to check it out. But as I said before, like, what skill is there to it? I mean, like, here we go. He's about to hit him. Oh, he slapped him. I don't know. I just don't know what you... It's weird, isn't it? It's these two just slapping until one person gets knocked out, I think. How does it get scored? I just don't know. I don't know much about it. I saw one trailer, and I must admit the trailer did make me go, whoa, that looks fun. I would definitely tune in for one, but as a regular weekly thing, I don't think I would. I don't think I would. How come the Briscoes aren't in AEW? They're in Ring of Honor, aren't they? They've got an agreement with Ring of Honor. I don't quite know what that agreement is, but I think they're still with Ring of Honor, so they're not in AEW, but they're in Ring of Honor. My favorite indie wrestler is Mindy Rose. Mindy Rose. If I remember right, Billingtons are the nephews of Dynamite Kids. Top Flight and Action Andretti could take trios belt, said Raw TM. My comments are not showing up. YouTube stopping it, and it's not even swearing, said James. It's probably, well, YouTube probably was quite concerned that was an imposter account then. If you were putting in comments that had no swearing in, James, I would imagine YouTube was blocking those comments just out of sheer respect for you, worried that was an imposter account. So, in many ways, YouTube had your back, but it had your back. Turner doesn't want them on TV, said to Heel. TBS executives aren't fans of Briscoes. They are controversial, said List of Jericho. Steve said, I watched a video today on the top 10 penalty box moments in ice hockey. That got intense. You should send in you watching the web and overselling your laugh. That was such a great clip. It was so good. I genuinely watched it like several times. I was like still laughing at like each time I watched it. And it was great to play it to Triple T and see his reaction, because I can't see him when the video's on. Because when we play the video in the Wrestling Escape Pods, that's what's on screen. So when we come back, I see his reaction when you see his reaction. And it was great to see like how much he enjoyed it as well. Kit coming in right. FTR in control. Did you know that Vince was still in power? He is going to unify US and Intercontinental Championships because AEW just have one mid-card title, said Australian Pie. I mean, I don't know that that's true, to be honest. I mean, he's still in power in the sense of he's a major shareholder, but it's Triple H that's running creative. And I'm sure that Vince is giving him ideas and having conversations with him as and when. So I'm sure there's an influence. But I don't know that I don't know that that's going to happen. Unless that's a report that's just come out. Statements Briscoes made 15 years ago, said Maggie. What's your favorite Christmas movie? Home Alone? No. I like Christmas Story. Charlie Brown Christmas is evergreen. Do you know what? I love Christmas movies. I really loved them about 10 years ago. For some reason, I've sort of gone off them a little bit. I don't know why. Home Alone, I watched a fair bit when I was young. And I'm just not very good when I watch films again and again and again. I can't do it. If I watch a film again and again and again, I just get bored of it. So I've seen Home Alone enough. I don't watch it. I couldn't even tell you the last time I sat down to watch that film. I know it. I've seen it loads of times. It's not my favorite Christmas movie. But then it used to be Elf, because I used to be able to watch that and find it funny and enjoy it. And we actually did a watch along of Elf on the channel for the members a couple of years ago. And we sat down, we watched it. And I don't know if it was just that environment, but I found myself watching it and just being a bit like, I'm over this, I'm over it. This isn't doing it for me. I'm like the first part when he first goes to the city and he's picking the chewing gum from under the thing and trying it and then walking in the road and getting run over. Like, these things are amazing. Brilliant. But the second part of the film is not that funny. Like, once he's done that and then he's in the city, I don't think that second part of the film is as good. And obviously there's like a bit of a love story to it and whatever. I understand you can't just have comedy. But I wish there was more of him like running around in that door where, like, you've got the revolving door and getting the chewing gum and being hit by the car. I think there was so much comedy to be had from him going to the city and walking around the city and being out of place and out of sync. I think there was more comedy to be had in that. And I wish that segment was longer. So yeah, I watched it. I was like, nah, this isn't as good, man. I think I'm over Elf. So I think I'm over Elf. I think Home Alone, I've seen it enough times. It just doesn't do it anymore. I don't know that I have a favorite Christmas film. What I tend to do now is I'll try and watch a Christmas film each year, but I'll just try and watch one I haven't seen. I think my current favorite, my vote might go to National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, but I'll bet you anything I could watch that this year, and probably that would then fall down the list. It's an ever-changing list, to be honest, because as I'm watching films, I'm gauging, am I still enjoying this? Is this good? Am I still into this? And sometimes that answer comes back as no. So it's not really like a set, right, my Elf is number one, Home Alone's number two. I think I could watch them and they would switch around. But right now, if I had to give someone an answer, I'd say National Lampoon's. I'd go National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I mean, Bad Santa's pretty fun, but again, I'm pretty sure I could watch it and be like, eh. I want to watch that Santa Claus TV show. I mean, the Santa Claus films with Tim Allen, they were always just easy, family friendly. They were always great. They were great to have on in the background, do something, and just easy to watch. I always appreciated them. I would watch that TV show. I reckon I'd enjoy that this year. So I might do that. I might watch that. I think James watched it, said it was pretty good. Sharpshooter by FTR, but no joy. The boot has been grabbed and he's dragged out the ring, smashed into the edge of the ring. Santa movie with Mel Gibson, says Will. Will. You know Will. Will Hensey. You know Will Hensey. Oh, Big Will. Big Will Hensey. Vicious suicide dive there by Cash. It's very good. I enjoyed it, said Sonny. I want to watch that. The Santa Claus show is fine, but it's rushed, says List of Jericho. Okay. I think I get more enjoyment out of watching something I've not seen each year than I would going back to just Home Alone again and again and again, or going back to Elf again and again and again. There are people out there that can just watch films again and again and again and still love them just as much. I don't seem to have that ability. So I think I would probably want to watch something I've not seen before. What I might do is get like a top 50 best Christmas films ever and just go through and go, have I seen that one? I don't think I've seen that one. And then I might watch it. I remember a few years ago, I watched The Holiday with like Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet and Jude Law and all this Christmas film, soppy, romantic comedy thing. It was all right, It was all right. It was on in the back. I find Christmas films they're not something I'll sit down with popcorn and just watch intently. They're always just on in the background as I'm doing something else. That was all right. Holiday was all right. Wasn't awful. Had a nice little story to it. Kick to the midsection. Looking for... Yeah, nothing there for Dax. Christmas Carol with Alistair Sim is the only holiday movie I will watch, said Doppelganger. John said, have you seen Home Sweet Home Alone? It's last year. It's got Ellie Kemper from The Office and a kid who stars in it. No. Home Sweet Home Alone. I've not seen it. What is it? What is it? I'll Google it now. Roll up by the Gun Club. Oh, cheating. Cheating by the Guns, and the Guns pick up the dub. Home Sweet Home Alone. It's a comedy. Oh, is this a new Home Alone? It's got the Home Alone logo. Home Sweet Home Alone is a comedy from 2021. It's the 6th film in the Home Alone franchise. I mean, straight away, that doesn't appeal. I mean, I know what Home Alone is. And I don't know that anything's going to beat the original. And they're all just plays on the same thing, aren't they? Surely. We're just seeing a little video here. Wiki. What were the reviews of that Home Sweet Home Alone? What were the reviews of it? IMDb 3.6. Rotten Tomatoes 16%. 16%. It got an audience score of 11%. That's brutal. Yeah, I mean, I must admit, there's not much here that's making me go, I need to watch that. I need to see this. Rotten Tomatoes does have a best Christmas movies section, though. 100 best Christmas movies ever. Meet Me in St. Louis from 1944. I mean, I've never seen it. 100%. The Shop Around the Corner from 1940. Miracle on 34th Street from 1947. Tangerine from 2015. I don't know that. Jamie Hayter against Kari Shida. Claws from 2019. I've not seen that. Hand-drawn animation. 95%. Here's Rick Ross. Claws. Has anyone seen Claws? I've not seen Claws. Die Hard at number 8. It's a Wonderful Life at 10. The Biggest Boss, Rick Ross. Christmas Story. No, what? I reckon there's some here that I've definitely never seen. Better Watch Out from 2016. I've never seen that. It's a holiday horror film. Trading Places at 21. Christmas Tale from 2008. Elf, number 25 on this list. Batman Returns from 1992, number 28. Bad Santa at 30. White Christmas from 1954. Anna and the Apocalypse. A zombie movie. Anna and the Apocalypse, number 33. It's one place above Muppet Christmas Carol. What? Santa Claus at 38. Holiday Inn at 40. March of the Wooden Soldiers from 1934 at 41. Keith Lee in the ring. We are going to turn our attention back to this, by the way. Right, we've got half an hour to go. We're going to make history today. Retribution, shout out to you. Christmas with the Cranks. That was fun. Deck the Halls I saw last year. I mean, it wasn't amazing, but it was all right. 8-Bit Christmas. A humorous and heartfelt look at childhood set in Chicago in the 1980s. That seems all right. 8-Bit Christmas. I might watch that. 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. Let It Snow from 2019. I don't know that. That's number 58 on this list. Lego Star Wars Holiday Special. Number 62. Where is Swerve? We're waiting for Swerve. Let's go. National Lampoons is number 69. Hey, has anyone seen The Night Before from 2015? That's got Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. For the last 10 years, lifelong friends have met on Christmas Eve. And this is about them trying to meet up again or something. Getting distracted. Swerve is going to start doing things Swerve's way. Swerve's here. I tried with you, bro. I tried to give you the whole world. We should own everything. Ross. I can't deal with all the accusations. You need to keep your eye on the ball. Is Ross going to attack Keith Lee? I think he is. Oh. Haaland. Haaland's here. Took your time, mate. Some of the timing in this was not that great. He said you need to keep your eyes in the back of your head, and Keith Lee kept standing there for about 5 minutes going, what you on about? What do you mean? What's his? I don't even know his name. Do you remember Haaland? There was a real buzz around him, wasn't there, when he was in NXT? He just gets knocked to the outside by Keith Lee. And now he's like, oh, no, I've hurt my nose. We've killed him already. Keith Lee's like, what? You sent him? And what's Rick Ross doing? Well, I don't understand what Rick Ross is doing. He's like, gun in the back of the head. Sort of feels like he's turned on Keith Lee, but he hasn't actually turned on Keith Lee. What's this? Who are you? It's crazy, man. Who's that dude? What happened to Haaland? Is Haaland still around the other side going, oh, Jesus. I think there's blood. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, dear. Well, this hasn't gone well. Oh, no, he's got a chair, actually. Does anyone know who that dude is? Who's this boomer? Stop, the segment's dead. Someone take the microphone from Rick Ross. I have no idea who that is. Okay, well, he's got a couple of beefcakes. Oh my God, he's just walking around going, it's time to make history. It's time, the legend. Swerve's a legend. It's time to make history. Gonna make history. We're watching history. It's official. We're hotting it up. We're hotting it up. It's gonna make history. Jumps down onto a breeze block on the stomach of Keith Lee. The breeze block shattered. Time to pay attention. Gonna make some history. Shut up. Shut up, you fool. Jamie Hayter against Karu Shida. Mogul affiliates. It's official. We're gonna make history. Oh, Rick Ross. A breeze block. Please, no more Rick Ross. Rick Ross. Days Land said she fully expects Miro. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. Keith Lee was buried in WWE, and Keith Lee is buried in AEW. Ross is the honorary mogul. I'm a mogul. It's official. You gotta keep watching. Swerve's a legend. You're a legend. This is legendary, but it's official. Shut up. Oh my God, stop talking. He even jumped the gun a little bit. He got right in the face. So he seemed to be all right with Keith Lee. And then as Swerve was talking, he started to get in his face. Like, Keith Lee had to sort of ignore him because I think Rick Ross sort of jumped the gun a little bit and sort of gave away that he was siding with Swerve. And then Swerve was like, you got to have eyes in the back of your head. Now, immediately, if someone says to you, and in that way as well, you need to keep eyes in the back of your head. Straight away, you're going, what? I mean, you are, aren't you? You just are. What? What do you mean? Not Keith Lee. Not Keith Lee. You've got to have eyes in the back of your head. What do you mean? What do you mean? Sorry. What do you mean? What do you mean? I can't do that. I've only got two eyes and they face forwards. I can't grow eyes in the back of my head. I don't even understand the comment that you're making. Keith Lee couldn't even figure out what he was being told. And then we had to wait about an hour for Parker or Harland, whatever he was, to like jump and attack. And then all the time you got Rick Ross going, it's official. Like this on the microphone. Shut up. That was a bad segment. That was a bad segment. Could have been a lot better if it was tighter, but it was not great. I sort of feel like the show started well, and then I think it has drifted. No shade on Guns and FTR though. I think that match looked pretty decent, but I'll admit I was getting distracted with Christmas movie talk. I mean, look, we're only a few days away from the big day. Do you know what I mean? I got to think about these things. I need to plan out what film to watch. So I am not going to apologize for that. 20 minutes left on Earth. How do they keep the audience watching the women's main event? Could it be we get a newsworthy tease of Sasha? I mean, I'm not expecting that. I think Jamie Hayter's pretty over, isn't she? I think people like Jamie Hayter. Problem is that, like, when you do like segments like what we just seen, that would be enough for me to go, do you know what? I think I've seen everything I need to see this week. I don't expect Jamie Hayter to lose the women's title, not to Hikaru Shida, and not so soon. So I don't need to watch this. I don't know that that's a reflection of Jamie Hayter though, but I could see people tuning out now after that going, do you know what? I don't need to watch this now. I've seen it. Seen what I need to see. Get the gist. There's one match left to go, and Jamie Hayter ain't losing it. I'm more of a Shida fan, said List of Jericho. Will Pretty Deadly go to the main roster in 2023? There's probably a chance. I wouldn't say early. It would be late 2023. Right. Here we go. Lance said Rick Ross should be permanently banned from AEW. Yes. The one thing that did surprise me is when he said you need to have eyes in the back of your head, I really thought Rick Ross was going to attack. So that was something that I didn't quite call. And it turned out to be someone else. Hikaru Shida against Jamie Hayter. Vince Russo wrote that segment. Lana said she expects Miro to leave AEW and return to WWE. Everyone is, in all fairness. Everyone is. Ida making her way down. Thunder Rosa's hometown. If she's ready, maybe she returns tonight, says Blazed. Oh, that's an interesting thought. Haters gonna hate. The only thing I would say with the Thunder Rosa thing is I think she could be Soraya's mystery partner in is it 2 weeks' time? Here's Jamie Hayter then. Throws the arms back. Out comes Britt. I don't know. I'm a bit torn about Britt because part of me thinks that she should be a bit more bothered that she's not the spotlight anymore. Part of me thinks that she should come out like not looking as excited as what she does. Just more like moody. Like, you know, like I've got to stand in the background type thing. I don't know that I like seeing her so enthusiastic about being second fiddle. I don't know that it fits her character. I miss Ronda losing her title in the UFC because I went to sleep assuming that she was going to win, said WrestleLandy. Well, in all fairness, I don't think many people saw that coming. It is one of the biggest shocks in UFC history. We all remember when Keith Lee won the NXT Championship. Days told us to remember it. He was right because he went downhill since then, said Alex. Blaze said, I think Britt being upset about Hayter's title reign is coming. Yeah, I mean, we've got to get that feud, haven't we? We've got to get that feud. We've got to get that feud. That'll be where Jamie, that'll launch Jamie even further, like her breaking away from Britt. There will be a bit of concern, though, as well. She'll need some really good creative. Forearm strike there by Shida. Back elbow by Jamie. Chop coming in by Jamie. Look at that. We spoke about how there's women in AEW and NXT that just softly hit the ropes, and it's like, now I'm going to do this, now I'm going to do that. Look at these two. Bang, bang, chop. Chop, chop. Look at the intensity. Look at this. Brilliant. Brilliant. To the midsection there by Shida. As Jamie Hayter goes down to her knees. Kick coming in there by Shida. As Jamie Hayter goes back into the corner. Another stomp coming in. And again. Knee right in the throat of Jamie Hayter. Hayter getting up to her feet. Shida coming over. Big clubbing blows coming in by Jamie Hayter. Big, I love that. She kind of hit her, and as Jamie kind of stumbled off, she grabbed her hair, so Jamie couldn't even really get away that far. She was like, bang, bang. So Jamie started going off in this direction, but she had her hair caught. She got dragged right back by Shida. That's nice. Quite intense. Lovely clubbing blows. Jamie's complaining about her hair. Crowd are being quite vocal here as Shida suplexes Jamie Hayter into the corner. Shida getting up to her feet. Britt Baker on the outside, pacing around. Shida jumping on the outside. Shots coming into the back of Jamie. Shida backing up a little bit, charging over, looking for... that was great, you know. That was great. She delivered this knee right to the face of Jamie. And as she looks at the camera going, ah! In the background, you just see Jamie Hayter like flopping off the edge of the ring. That was a nice spot, that was. That was a great visual. Bang, big knee. Screams into the camera. Jamie Hayter in the background, flopping down off the ring. Shida charging over. Knee strike there by Shida. Shida hurling Jamie over to the other side. Shida coming over. Planted face first into the corner. I think we are at picture-in-picture at the moment. Good 15 minutes. Something will happen at the end, said Vinji. Brenton said another Christmas movie would be Snow Day. It's a movie from the early 2000s with Chevy Chase and a young Josh Peck from Drake and Josh. Don't know it? Snow Day. Let's have a look. Let's see what it gets on Rotten Tomatoes. Snow Day. Snow Day. There's one from 2000. There's one from 2022, actually. One from 2000. Is that the same one? Who's in it? Mark Webber, Iggy Pop, Chevy Chase. 29% on Rotten Tomatoes, 27% from an audience score. It's got over 25,000 ratings, you know. 27%. Unless you have a craving to watch a sluggish ski-doo race or want to admire Chase dressed as a hula dancer, consider this the cinematic equivalent of yellow snow. But someone else says it's good family fun for a snow day. The tagline to this family comedy is anything can happen on a snow day. Proof is in the pudding as Chevy Chase, for the first time in years, appears in a movie that is actually funny. But then this person said, kids just looking for fun might find it in Snow Day, which has nutritional value of a snow cone. Don't even know what that means. Split opinion. I've got this top 100. I'm probably going to work through this, you know. Oh, the holidays there at number 99. I had a little bit of praise for that earlier. I think we might be back from... we are back now. I don't like watching when it's picture-in-picture because normally the matches go super slow and they're rubbish. Here's... Jamie Hayter walking around then, grabbing the hair of Shida. Big clubbing blow. I just saw a report. Coco Beware is hospitalized. All these legends, getting ill at this time of year. I love Father Ted. Oh, man. I tell you what, now we're getting into an interesting conversation. One we won't have time for, but Christmas episodes of TV shows. Now we're talking. Christmas episodes of like Only Fools and Horses. Amazing. Christmas episodes of Father Ted. Amazing. Christmas episode of Frasier and Friends. Wasn't the one where they had the turkey on the head? Wasn't that the Christmas Friends? That was fun. It's kind of an iconic Friends moment, isn't it? Yeah, I'm actually way more into Christmas episodes of TV shows than I am probably Christmas movies. Right, both women are down in the ring. Claus is good, but it's sad. Season 2 was announced for Santa Claus TV show. I was thinking of watching the night before. If I do, I will let you know. Morecambe and Wise Christmas specials. Yeah. The Snow Day movie was pretty funny. It's very good. The villain of Snow Plow Guy, he chains a kid up to the front of the plow. Oh, well, now we're talking. A kid is chained to a front of a snow plow. Listen, that's all you needed to say. Here's us reading reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Little did I know there's a chained kid on the front of a snow plow. Totally watching that now. Forearm strikes coming in by both women. Shida grabbing the arm of Jamie. Forearm strike. And again, one more for the road. Driving Jamie Hayter back. Hayter going against the ropes. Drop kick. Scream there by Shida. You've got Jamie Hayter in the corner. The very first episode of The Simpsons was a Christmas episode. That's true. Yeah, didn't they get Santa's little helper in that episode? Big shots coming in. Down goes Jamie Hayter. Shida with a drop kick, missile drop kick. Hayter down, Hayter rolling over to the ropes, going face first into the turnbuckle. Shida is in control. We've got 9 minutes to go. She's looking to suplex Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter on the edge of the ring. Oh my God. She just flipped Shida over onto the outside part of the ring, the hardest part of the ring. Looking to German suplexer off. Look at that. I don't really get that because she would surely hurt herself as well if she did successfully do that move. Clubbing blows coming in by Jamie. She's running Shida into the turnbuckle. Back elbow by Shida. Shida hurls Jamie into the ring post. Knee strike by Shida. Shida looking for suplex to the outsides. Britt Baker is straight over. Britt Baker straight over. Check in on Jamie. Holy shit. Britt Baker's got some cool trainers. I thought that the turkey on the head was Thanksgiving. Oh, maybe it is. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. The Cheers Christmas episode was good, said John. This match is long for Dynamite, said Braden. Del Boy and Rodney as Batman and Robin. That is the best. That is the best. That is the best. Why is TBS title defended on TNT? The TNT title defended on TBS. Madness! FTR loses their belts, goes on a losing streak. The Elite win the trio. CM Punk comes back and teams up with FTR and then takes the belts off the Elite, said Tony's Dark Nightmare. Right, we've got Jamie down. Shida grabbing Jamie. They're both in the ring. Forearm strike there by Shida. Right, coming back there by Jamie Hayter. We're down to the final 7 minutes. Love the selling. Look at the facial expressions from Jamie Hayter. Constantly in pain. Grimacing. Selling that lower back. Shot coming into side of the head. Big clubbing blow coming in. And again, she's trying to get back up to her feet. Still grimacing in pain. Gritted teeth from Jamie Hayter. Forearm strikes. Kick. Hayter stumbling round. Shida against the ropes. Big boot there by Jamie Hayter. Still selling the back. Goes against the ropes. Knee strike by Shida. Hayter down. 1, 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. Look at the facial expression. Look at the eyes. Wide eyes of Jamie Hayter as she realizes that title was slipping away. Double knees. Look at that. Like a meteora. And she's picking up. Oh, driver. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Jamie Hayter. We get Shida's facial reaction. It's a fun little match, this is, you know. It's a really fun match. Jamie up in the corner. Shida looking for a suplex. Bottom is the greatest special of gold, frankincense, and grrr, said Steve. It's gonna happen, said Tony. The Simpsons Christmas episode with Gary Coleman was good. John Water saving Homer and Bart from Medea with an electric Santa was an awesome in a different episode, says John. Jamie Hayter climbing up, 5 minutes left. Jamie Hayter with a moonsault. Against the ropes goes Jamie Hayter. Do you know what? Tony just said this could be the hardest hitting women's title match I've ever seen. I mean, almost certainly not, but very fun match. Jamie Hayter flops down. Shida looking for a finishing move. But Jamie Hayter grabs her. Yep, Hayter goes against the ropes. Sliding lariats. Oh, close, but no cigar for Jamie Hayter. Close, but no cigar. Jamie Hayter is up on her feet. Back elbows coming in on Jamie Hayter. This is awesome. Chant from the crowds. Oh, my God. What a backbreaker. That was awesome. 1, 2. Oh, man. That backbreaker was sick from Jamie Hayter. This is awesome. Chants from the crowds. And deserved. Jamie Hayter trying to tighten up the hair. Kisses the guns. Ash Kong Bull Nakano was the hardest hitting women's title match, said Inside Out and again. Oh my God, big knee strike by Shida. Lovely kick. Axe kick as well there by Shida. No, doesn't connect. Goes for a clothesline. Lovely suplex. Britt Baker is up on the edge of the ring with a kendo stick. She's dragging Britt Baker in. She's trying to throw in a strike. I don't know what we're doing here. I don't think this match needed this. Up top goes Shida. Kick. Referee surely can hear this going on behind him. Kendo stick to the midsection. Britt goes down. Karu Shida charging over. Jamie has her scouted. She's going to grab her in like a power bomb move. No, roll through. Roll through again. 1, 2. She picks her up looking for a power bomb. 1, 2. Oh, kick out still. That's great. That's great. That's great. Crowd are on their feet with this. Look at the shock in the crowd, man. They are loving this match. Great women's match. What a Christmas gift. Big clothesline, big lariat. And again, a shoulder up. What is this? Boom, one more for the road. It's vicious by Jamie Hayter, and it gets the job done. We talked about people that have had a standout year, and we mentioned Jamie Hayter. And that's why you mentioned Jamie Hayter. Brilliant performance. Brilliant performance. She's out on her feet as well. Look at the selling. Look, I mean, even little things like that, like Britt and Reba go over, and as they go over to attack, like Jamie Hayter flops down, collapses down. Toni Storm is running down to the ring. She wallops Reba. She jumps onto Britt. And she gets nailed with the AEW Women's Championship. There is Jamie Hayter down in the corner. Toni Storm's down. Reba's down. Britt Baker's down. Looks like they're going to start attacking Toni. I tell you, if Thunder Rosa comes back now, there's going to be big questions around who the mystery partner is for Saraya. There'll be big questions. Oh, Saraya's coming down now. So Saraya's made her way down. Saraya jumps into the ring. We got Saraya in there with lovely kick, by Saraya. Lovely kick by Saraya. Britt Baker goes out the ring. Okay, so we haven't had Thunder Rosa then. So my guess is Thunder Rosa is going to be that mystery partner for Saraya. So Saraya makes her way down. It's Saraya that makes the save. We will see you Friday night for Rampage. Awesome match. Brilliant. Brilliant. Put in your scores. What did you score AEW Dynamite? AEW Dynamite. Sadly, I think the Rick Ross segment might have driven some people away. Honestly, I thought that was pretty poor. And people might have thought, well, there's no way that she's going to lose the belt. So, I don't know. This is where, like, when those ratings come in, if that segment just did, like, low ratings, I mean, it does that main event doesn't deserve to do low ratings. That deserves to be enjoyed. That was a Christmas treat. That's one of the best matches I've seen in weeks. It was so good. So much fun. Very good. Very good. Glad to see the women headlining Dynamite, said El Sean. Steve said 1 out of 10. It sucked. Michael gives it an 8. Mayhem said 7.5. John says 7. Big Time Back said 6. Main event saved the show. Slim Jim gave it an 8. I would prefer Tony and Shida than Tony and Saraya. Brendan said a good women's match in AEW. Anything can happen on a snow day. Blaze Radio said main event was really good, but the rest was meh. You sound so Southern USA, how you say Dynamite. Dynamite. I sound Southern USA. Sweet Billie Jean. Come on down to the bayou. That's Southern, isn't it? I don't think they have bayous up north. Who knows? 7.5. Main event whipped the Rick Ross segment. Wiped the Rick Ross segment from my mind. CJ said 7.5. 10 out of 10 said Trace. Chris says 8. Alex says 9 due to Rick Ross. Mystery partner, hoping it'll be Sasha or Mandy, said John. Shaquem said a 7. What you good was look at. What you good was look at. 8 for hater, said Robs. Sonny said, a childhood Christmas movie for me is the ultimate Christmas present. Maybe you would like it. I don't know. If you will, you could find a way to watch it, but perhaps it'd have to be an illegal website. I refuse to go onto illegal websites. I've never done that. I never will do that, Sonny. How dare you? How dare you? Cowboy Days. No one wants Thunder Rosa back, said Big Fork. Finley, good night to you. 6.21. Don't ever let Rick Ross near us again. There's the issue is Tony Khan. He is into numbers and quarter hours, and if he sees the women tanked, it might limit them from future events. James said that was the greatest women's match AEW has ever put on. It was phenomenal. Steve said FTR and Keith Lee need to go back to WWE. Triple H would use them better. 7 from Legend Killer. Trace with a 10. There we go. We've got some good scores coming in. Some nice scores. A little bit of a mixed bag. We'll see if we can get 100 votes. If you haven't voted in the poll, get your votes in. Get your votes in. It'd be interesting to know what you scored this episode of AEW Dynamite. But we're at 85 votes at the moment. Can we get a few more? Can we collect a few more as people get their thoughts in? Jim said, I want Thunder Rosa back. Jamie could go, said Franks92. James wants Rosa back. Nothing on Maki Ito out of 10, said Aubrey Edwards, dancing on Brazil's grave. Yeah, I mean, look, I thought this Dynamite was okay, actually. I I really enjoyed the Ricky Starks promo. I really enjoyed the Bryan Danielson segment. Ethan Page coming out, I thought that was good. FTR against Guns, fine. I was talking about Christmas movies, so maybe I didn't give it quite the attention it deserved, but it certainly looked fine. Main event was just fantastic. I do agree that the rest of it is a bit meh. Like, the rest of it's a bit like brings the score down. I totally understand. Like, the elite match, didn't do it for me. The Rick Ross segment, oh my god, not very good. But by and large, there was definitely some stuff here that I think really brings this show up and was actually worth. I feel like this is a show that was definitely worth watching. Definitely worth watching. Because there was a couple of great promos, and that main event just in itself was so much fun. So much fun. So this is what we were saying, like, MJF, Jamie Hayter, I think they've had fantastic years. And, AEW goes into 2023 with both of them as their champions. That's got to put them in a good, strong position, you would imagine. AEW hasn't mentioned anything regarding that mystery person for 2 weeks. They're teasing a trio feud. I don't know where Sasha fits. I don't know that she does. I don't know that they've got Sasha. I'm not expecting Sasha. So for me, I mean, unless they've just abandoned the mystery partner thing, but I've always been under the impression that would be Thunder Rosa. So I don't know if we're, going to, I mean, they have so much stuff to promote. Perhaps they just are going to do it as we get closer to it, maybe. Right, let's end this poll. And the poll. Right, 7 to 775, 47%. 28% went 8 to 10. 6 to 675 was 13%. And 575 or below, 11%. Right, we are done. Done. Don't forget, we are back on Friday. We are back on Friday where we will be doing SmackDown. We'll do probably the Retro Watch Along on Saturday as well. So we've still got some streams coming up before Christmas. So that'll be fun. And don't forget as well, as I said earlier, if you want to, you don't have to, of course, but if you want to send in some pictures or a quick little video of how your Christmas went and you would like to share that with people, then send it over to wrestlingdays@gmail.com and that will get included into the Wrestling Escape Pods, which is our weekly podcast. It's got its own channel, and we are looking to do an episode kind of based on that. If we don't get many, then we'll just have a look at the best Instagram pictures of the week, which is something that I love doing that anyway. We have so much fun with that. I've got no problem with doing that either. But ideally, we could have a week away from that and have a look at people's Christmases and see what you got and see what you had for Christmas lunch and all of that good stuff. So up to you. But appreciate the support. Have a great Christmas. If I don't see you again before Christmas, hopefully I do. But if I don't see you again before Christmas, make sure you have a good one. I hope Santa brings you all the things that you're hoping for. As long as you're not hoping for like bad things and you're hoping for like good things, then I hope Santa brings those for you. So appreciate the support as always. And as I said, I will see you again next time. Bye for now.